And good evening from Glens Falls High School in Glens Falls, New York. Welcome to coverage of Glens Falls Greenjackets football here on YouTube. I'm Ken Leccese along with Tim Drawbridge. And tonight, round number 3 between the Middleboro Cobras and the Glens Falls Greenjackets. And this one, it's got a little bit more meaning than the 2 regular season matchups, Tim, as we've got a championship on the line here in the New England Football League.
And both of these teams very familiar with one another, as Glens Falls lost the battle back on July 22nd by 1 point. 7-6. They had a late scoring opportunity, but were not able to cash in. They ended up getting the revenge back on August 12th. Kenny winning in a shutout, 13-0. But tonight it's different. Like last week, the third time these 2 teams are meeting, and saying that both of these teams, Kenny, are pumped would be a complete understatement.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago, just before the start of the playoffs, the Glens Falls Greenjackets and Worcester County Wildcats were in a battle for first and second place. Well, the Middleboro Cobras made a statement by defeating Worcester County in the last week of the regular season, and then last week beating Worcester County at home to be here in the championship game against the Greenjackets.
And Coach Pike, very confident. His team very confident. It's a new squad, but very experienced. When you talk to Coach Johnson with Glens Falls, you know what? We've been quiet all week, feeling the butterflies, but they came out talking and chomping. You know what? Get through the match on the fire, and the Greenjackets are ready to respond on the opening kickoff.
Yeah, and in fact, that was one of the big plays the second time they met at East Field. It was one of those nights. Tim wasn't there, but it was very similar. The weather-wise, we had a storm roll in around the first quarter, and it was Deshaun Tyler taking the opening kickoff, 89 yards for a touchdown. That basically set the tone for the game, as we had rain through the first and second quarter that turned East Field into a mud hole. Tonight, they don't have to worry about that. Tim left me a note sent me a message today. You got the rosters? Like, yeah. He goes, well, and Tim being the meteorologist explaining, well, there's an outside chance of showers. He goes, yeah, but the good news is it'll be on turf tonight. It won't be we won't be seeing we won't be getting a mud facial by any of the players, because it'll be nice and fast and dry tonight. And finally, last night, the home team here, the Glens Falls Black Bears, played their first official home game on this turf, winning in a decisive battle over Broadalbin Perth, 42-7.
And congratulations, head coach Pat Lilac, his 150th victory. He's had an excellent career here at Glens Falls.
You think about that run he's had: 3 state championships, 3 visits to state championships, 2 wins, and we're getting ready for the performance of the national anthem.
Oh, see, and you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose stripes and bright stars through the boundless fight on the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rang out, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Go Jackets! Ladies and gentlemen, Kelly and Son, welcome to Papa Mayfield at Glens Falls High School for tonight's 2023 New England Football League Championship game. The number 1 seeded Glens Falls Greenjackets taking on the 2nd seeded Middleboro Cobras. A big thanks to our friends from Berkshire Bank, our press box sponsors tonight. High atop the Berkshire Bank press box on camera.
And welcome back to Pablo Mayfield here at Glens Falls High School. Thanks for tuning in to YouTube. The Glens Falls Greenjackets and Middleboro Cobras getting set for tonight's championship game. There are other games going on today in the New England Football League. In fact, the Class A semifinals, Connecticut Reapers were taking on the Rhode Island Riptide. That took place at 2:30 this afternoon. And getting underway a little bit later on tonight, it's the other A semifinal, has Vermont Ravens taking on the New England Bombers. And last week, we talked about Middleboro beating Worcester County 21-13. Greenjackets, a nice balanced attack and a 34-14 win over the Bass Warriors here on the turf.
And talking to Coach Johnson during pregame, I mentioned the fact that he had excellent blocking out of both of his guards and his center last week, and when they executed completely, you were blowing holes wide open on the field, Coach. He's like, absolutely, if we execute that way tonight, we will win. By the way, just a quick look at weather, since it's obviously cloudy. We talked about the rain with the last game back in August. Showers, if you're familiar with the North Country into the Capital District of New York State, it's from Saratoga Lake south. So at this point, we're A-OK.
Well, the Glens Falls Greenjackets will be taking the opening kickoff. Anthony Tognacci, he wears number 92. He'll be kicking off for the Cobras, who will be going from left to right here in this first quarter. Back deep for the Greenjackets, Jonathan Hammond, and it's a line drive kick taken by Deshaun Tyler, number 3. He gets up to the 30, to the 35, 40, 45, crosses midfield to the 50, knocked out of bounds. But if you go about 50 miles south, you get the tail end of what is going to be Tropical Storm Ophelia, which is kicking the you-know-what's out of the Carolinas, and it's getting ready to hit Delaware and Jersey pretty soon. Here's the high end over end kick. Taken at the 17-yard line, up to the 20, to the 25, to the 30, and they'll be stopped at the 34, and that's Jordan Pina on the return for the Middleboro Cobras.
And nice of Bennett to be able to come out and get a good kick. End over end, good height, good distance inside the 20. Now let's see what Middleboro can do with a nice return there and set things up on offense, because head coach Justin Pike, I asked him tonight, what are your 3 keys to the game? He's like, I don't have 3. I'm like, give me your keys less than 3. He's like, we're going to win. Let's see how they establish that theory and the confidence here on their opening drive.
The Cobras quarterback, he wears number 12. His name is Curtis Can. He's one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the league. He's got 2 wide receivers split out to either side of the field and 1 man in the backfield. 1st and 10 for the Cobras at their 33. Here comes a man in motion, and handoff inside to about the 36-yard line. And
Barreto's in on the bottom of that pile.
And let's see who is the runner with the football. Getting up is number 22. That is Jordan Pina. We'll see a lot of him. Number 23, Paul Senses. In the last game here at East Field, we saw a lot of a guy named Peter McEnany, who was playing tight end and fullback, and we got ourselves a timeout on the field for a second.
Yeah,
here.
it was the running back Pina getting up, kind of walking off the field a little gingerly. Tyler Brown was coming in on a run blitz. You could see the Glens Falls kind of felt like they knew what Middleboro was going to come out and do on that first play.
2nd down and 8.
2nd down and 8. Again, 2 wide receivers split out to either side of the field for the Cobras. Can in the shotgun. And he'll look to throw, setting up a screen pass. Got his receiver. He's open at the 40. And he'll have enough for the first down at the 44-yard line. Tackled by number 18. That was Brandon Fish.
Fish playing off the receiver about 3 or 4 yards, allowing for the receiver, I believe it was Aaron Todman, to be able to get a nice catch on that, turn around, get upfield, and a good gain for Middleboro.
And actually, they're saying he's going to be about a yard short at the 43. He's got to get to the 44. So a 7-yard gain. And 3rd down and 1 now for the Cobras. 8:34 here in this opening quarter. The Greenjackets took the opening kickoff. 55 yards for a touchdown, 2 yards out from James Prastio Jr.
Nice composure on that previous play by Can. Let's see if they chuck it or hand it off to the back here on 3rd and short.
Can looking over towards the sidelines.
Audible changing the play.
Sees what the Greenjackets are doing. They're looking like they're coming with a 5-man front and a linebacker blitz.
It's Barreto over the center.
And Can with a high snap. Looking to throw. Finds his receiver at the 50-yard line. That is complete for a first down. He works to about, that's Todman again, I believe. And he gets tackled at the Greenjackets 49.
Nice composure by Can in the pocket. Same play, same route. Fish that time closer on his coverage on Todman.
So 1st and 10 for midfield. In a moving clock. It's very much like college, where the clock will move. It'll stop on certain plays. Then towards at the last 2 minutes of the halves, they'll stop play like they normally would for first downs and everything, which is new in college football this year. I know we were talking about this last week, how the college coaches don't like that idea of the similar to what they do in the pros, where after a first down, the clock just keeps moving. They feel they don't get enough possessions as much as they used to. So 1st and 10. Here comes a man in motion for Curtis Can, and he comes back in the backfield. Fake pitch. It's Pina. Pina crosses the 50, breaks a couple tackles up to the 44-yard line. And that was Todd Barreto, number 44, on the tackle.
I think Garrick France is going to look back on that play and wish he got the back on the initial hit, as Barreto ended up doing the cleanup on the tackle. Get in there. I know sometimes it's a little hard when you get into the hole, get in the gap, and all of a sudden you got to react very quickly with a back coming with a full head of steam at you, but still break down position and just get your shoulder right into his waist or lower and have somebody else come in to kind of clean it up over the top.
So 2nd, and we'll make it 4 for the Cobras. Two wide receivers split out to the far side of the field are Paul Sansis and Aaron Todman.
Going to have to watch the back kind of in a slot tight end position off the right tackle here, number 3.
Empty backfield now as 5 wide receivers set up on the line. Can from midfield. Got the time, looking to throw. Slot receiver is complete at the 35. Fumbles the football. And let's see who
Glens
gets
Falls
it.
got it.
And let's see. And it's Greenjackets on the recovery. And let's see who comes out with the football. Is that Tyler?
I believe so.
Yeah, it's Deshaun Tyler. It looks like he got it, or Tony Green Jr. came up with the football. Now you're thinking, if you saw the play like I did, the receiver made a football move and got stripped.
And it was a great strip, too, on Sansis, who ended up just having the ball drop down to the ground. So beautiful defensive play by Glens Falls. Let's see if they can now turn around and take control here in the first quarter.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Greenjackets at their 36. 4 wide receivers split out to either side, 2 on each side. Prastio in the backfield along with Caleb Condon, the quarterback. And Condon hands off to number 1, James Prastio Jr. And he'll be stopped at the 40-yard line for a gain of 4.
Good blocking. Patrick Lyman, who I passed in the locker room earlier. Also by Kevin LeClaire on that play, helping to open up the hole for Prastio.
We'll see you at the queue.
2nd down and 6. As Condon gets his play call on the sideline. Also in the game right now is number 9, Rashad Colson. We see him. He's one of the receivers split out with Hammond to the near side, Stasinski to the far side, along with Skylar Pickering. Again, it'll be James Prastio, lone man in the backfield. He'll move to the right of Caleb Condon now on this 2nd down and 6. 5-man front. And they're showing blitz. Set up a screen for Hammond. Hammond to the 45.
Nice.
And he's knocked out of bounds at the 47-yard line by number 40. That was Zachary Shafino for the Cobras. That was number 12. Hammond on the reception. And enough for the 1st down.
Nice execution of the play to the near side. Good pass from Condon right into Hammond's hands, leading him forward and having the space to be able to lead him. Colson really didn't have to do much except stand in front of his guy, get in his way, and allow Johnny to be able to get enough for the 1st down.
That is one of the key things, especially if your linemen aren't getting sprung out and fast on the screen, is the ability for the wide receiver, especially the guy who was playing along the wide side of the field, like Colson was, to come in and actually spring the block for the slot receiver. Handoff inside to number 1, Prastio. And Prastio works ahead, still on his feet, and he's finally tackled at midfield. So a gain of 3.
Mackenzie Harrison coming from his defensive back position for Middleboro, right off the right side on a run blitz, the right side of the Glens Falls offensive line, and got Prastio pretty much in the backfield. Prastio just leaned forward to be able to gain something. He was lucky to gain 2.
Middleboro wearing the road whites with maroon numbers and white helmets with a 1 maroon stripe and the numbers on the side. And Glens Falls Greenjackets, of course, wearing the Green Bay Packer replicas. The I guess you would say more as I don't say it's Kelly green because that's too dark. That's too light to be too dark to be Kelly green. Call it a forest green and yellow gold with the iconic gold helmets with the 2 stripes. 2nd and 8. And we got ourselves whistle and a false start. And I think they got Colson.
Yeah,
it's right in front of him, too. It was Colson flinched right in front of the official called the play. So we'll move it back 5.
And he was looking down the line of scrimmage, as you do from a wide-out position. It was the left end, I believe, J.R. Sant, or down in a 4-point stance from a linebacker position, who just flinched, and Colson responded.
It'll be 2nd and 13 now for the Greenjackets at their 45. 2:55 remaining in the opening quarter, and Glens Falls leading 6-0 here on YouTube. Thanks for tuning in to this game for the New England Football League Championship between the Cobras and Greenjackets. And now we got another whistle, and we got a false start on the other side of the field. This might be Stasinski or Pickering.
Just to finish up your thought, Kenny, say hello to everybody watching from Middleboro, Mass. Believe they got the telecast on a big screen over your way, so thank you for watching and supporting your team in NEFL action. This is going to drive Coach Johnson nuts for Glens Falls. A clean game up until the last 2 plays, and that was one of the things they stressed all week. No penalties. Let's play this game cleanly.
I know there are people here who made the trip up from Rhode Island who are fans of the Riptide, came up to watch this game, and also they wanted to know where they could get the game, so a bunch of people in Rhode Island watching as well. Down in the Coventry area, they were telling us they were from. 2nd and 18. In motion comes Pickering, number 10. Condon sets up a screen for Hammond, number 12, to the 45, and he gets back to the original, just shy of the original line of scrimmage to the 46-yard line. I'll bring up a 3rd and 11.
Now, Pickering, as you mentioned, Kenny, was the receiver in motion to the near side. Got a very nice block on Kellen McDonald, and if Colson could have maybe gotten out of the way or gotten a block to kind of spring press, was good because he had an opportunity. It just, that opportunity closed very quickly.
Quentin Austin is in the backfield now, number 21 for the Green Jackets. As I see James Prastio getting a nice rest on this play. 3rd down and 11 with 1:45 left in the opening quarter. 6-0 Glens Falls as the Green Jackets took the opening kickoff 55 yards for a score, and the kick was no good.
Middleboro blitzing.
Now here's Condon looking to throw. A little too high for his receiver, number 10, Skylar Pickering.
Now, I'm not sure if it's because of the injury that he suffered a few weeks ago, or if it was more pressure starting to get in his face, but it looked like Caden was able to step up all the way on that throw, and he did that last week a few times where he sailed the ball a little bit too high.
Deshaun Tyler will do the punting. And back deep, I believe that's number 15, Orlando Franco, or number 16, Mackenzie Harrison, deep for the Middleboro Cobras with 1:28 left here in this opening quarter and a 6-0 lead for the Green Jackets.
Not sure if Glens Falls has enough on the line of scrimmage.
Low snap.
Didn't get called.
Here's the kick. A little bouncer, and ends up being taken by the up man, number 34. That is France, and France will get to about the 45-yard line after a return of about 5 yards.
That was a great play. Perry on the return, you said?
It was France, 34.
France, check that. Nothing but reaction on that, and just awareness of being able to find out where he had an opportunity to run and be able to get something there on that return. Great field position now for Middleboro. See how they can take advantage of it.
It was like last week where we saw the one kick that was an onside kick, and it just basically was a line drive into a lineman's belly. Dan McHugh, who was for the Mass Warriors, went down in a heap. That was one of those ones. You ever take a kickball when you were growing up? Take a rubber kickball. Every bit of air that went into your lungs and diaphragm came out, and it hurts for a while. So 1st and 10 now.
It's one of those ones you just go into the fetal position and say, "Don't move me" for about a minute and a half.
Yeah, it's the agony is right there. So 1st and 10 is the exchange of footballs take place. As both teams, of course, it's BYOB, bring your own ball. Curtis Can set up 5 yards deep. He's the quarterback under center. 2 wide receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. And he'll hand it off inside to Jordan Pina. Breaks a couple of tackles. Still on his feet, past midfield. Rugby pile gets it to the Green Jackets' 49-yard line.
And Barito comes up holding his wrist. He was one of the first players to be able to get first contact on the back from Middleboro, and this is not good with Todd Barito, the middle of that Glens Falls defense, coming to the bench, and obviously in a great amount of pain.
Connor Hermanson, number 4, comes in for the Green Jackets. As we're inside a minute to play. Ball's at the 49-yard line of the Green Jackets. 2nd down and 4. Again, 4 wide receivers, 2 split out to either side, 1 man in the backfield behind Curtis Can. And here comes a man in motion. And here's the inside handoff to Pina again. Pina will get half of it. So it'll bring up a 3rd and 2, and that will be the last play of the first quarter.
Hate to call him out because he's had an excellent season, but Jake Gregory get those arms around the back's legs. First contact could have had a loss instead of a gain.
So we're at the end of one, and the Glens Falls Greenjackets lead the Middleboro Cobras 6-0. Thanks for tuning in and watching on YouTube here from Glens Falls, New York, where we've got the Adirondack Balloon Festival going on. We've got stuff all over the place, and if you say, no, I'd like to come up and visit, well, next weekend, if you like treasures, the world's largest garage sale takes place in Warrensburg, New York. You know what? I'm so looking forward to the fact that I won't have to drive near Glens Falls that weekend because I live in the vicinity and I know what it's like up there. It is unbelievable what they do up there.
All the fall festivals kicking off this weekend. Oktoberfest.
Yep, I know the Gore Mountain's going to have their fall festival in a couple of weeks, Columbus Day weekend. As I said, I was up there today for this wonderful thing, and I was showing Tim the pictures. Adirondack Glassblowing had a benefit this weekend where you could go into their pumpkin patch, pick out glass pumpkins, hand-blown glass pumpkins, and a portion of the proceeds went to the North Creek Depot Museum, Railroad Depot Museum, which, of course, is in history. If you know anything about Theodore Roosevelt, when he found out that President McKinley had been shot and assassinated, he picked up the train. He was up in the Adirondacks camping and hiking, and they found out about it, rode a horse, got into North Creek, got on the train, and got out to Buffalo in time so he could become president. So first, 3rd down and 2 as we start the second quarter. 6-0 your score. Can looking to throw. Finds a receiver open is Santos. He's got the first down. He's tackled there by number 18. That's Brandon Fish.
Again, it's the last play that we saw on the previous drive with Middleboro. The pass to Santos, except this time he gets both arms around the ball after making the reception, and Middleboro has found something here on this drive.
1st and 10 now from the Greenjackets 38. First 30 seconds of play. It's Jordan Pina in the backfield.
Glens Falls showing blitz.
And here's the inside handoff. And Pina will get about a yard or two.
Whitaker and Tony Green Jr., nice ability to read quick and work together to bring the back down.
Akil Anthony now coming into the game as a defensive back.
The official post-game party spot for your Glens Falls Greenjackets.
Actually, they said they didn't give him any yards, so they stuffed him at the line of scrimmage. So it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Cobras.
And by the way, Todd Baritow still sitting on the bench, getting some ice on that left hand, left wrist. Let's see if he ends up being able to come back for Glens Falls.
Baritow had an interception for a return last week for a touchdown in the win over the Mass Warriors. Empty backfield. Long snap count. Can looking to throw. Zips one. That's complete to his receiver. That is Paul Santos, and Santos gets to the 35-yard line.
Tyler had coverage, gave him, Santos that is the receiver, a cushion, and nice ability to come off his guy, Akil Anthony, to take the receiver, Santos, down to the ground.
3rd down and 7. Justin Pike, the head coach of the Middleboro Cobras. Steve Johnson, the head coach of the Greenjackets. 12 minutes and 40 seconds left till halftime. It's 6-0 in favor of Glens Falls.
Gonna have trips to the far side.
Pina to the left of Curtis Can. One wide receiver to the near side. That's Jared Walker, number 80. Fans chanting defense here on the metal bleachers at Glens Falls High School. Now Cans spots, finds a receiver. It's open to Santos at the 30-yard line, but he's going to be about 2 yards shy of the first down.
So clearly we can see who Curtis Can likes to go to, and obviously that is Santos. Give Dejon Tyler credit for closing the gap very quickly, and a good open field tackle by Tyler.
And we've got a lineman down, Tim. He's getting up a little bit gingerly at about the 41-yard line. Now he's getting up. Now the trainer's saying, hey, let me take a look at you. A couple of the coaches from the coaching staff coming out to take a look at at one of the big guys.
In a big game like this, either side, you don't want to see any injuries because there's so much of an opportunity here for the winner tonight. One of 4 locations to be able to go play in another ball game down the road.
Yep. Now they're looks like that might be, they're just doing some stretching and see if it's cramping or maybe a little tightness somewhere. And that player gets up. That is number 57, by the way. That's Jason Callahan, who was down. He gets a nice round of applause as he comes off the field. So if you're watching, saying, so the last time we played you guys, this was not where you played. No. We were actually on the exact opposite side of town. Now, the Greenjackets were hoping to play here earlier this year, but they've redone this whole football field here at the high school. The problem wasn't the field, it was the track. And if you know anything about running tracks, they take a little bit longer to cure than turf settling. Pitch to Pina, gets a lead block, gets the first down and more. Up the sidelines he goes. He's knocked out of bounds around the 10-yard line.
Beautiful read by Pina running the Wildcat. Glens Falls was pinching the middle, and that's where they came defensively. Pina read it beautifully. The strong side of the field was the far side of the field. He read his blocks and executed that 4th and 2 very nicely.
No, but unlike artificial turf fields, which basically need a couple weeks to settle after they put down the turf, they get the pebbling in, you know, the stuff that is supposed to protect you. Tracks are different. Tracks need dry weather, and it has not been the driest summer here.
No, it has not.
Just ask the people in Johnstown. Here's Pina again on the direct snap. To the 5, gets to about the 4.
Couldn't see who was on that side on the tackle. It was Tony Green Jr. Nice being able to contain that side of the field. And again, Pina on the Wildcat, same exact play, same exact read, except Glens Falls was there defensively this time.
No, but out in Johnstown, which is about, let's say about 45 minutes west of Glens Falls, they redid their football field complex, and they did the similar thing. New turf field, new track. Well, all the rain they got didn't help the track from settling and being able to basically harden. That's what it is. They call it curing. Well, it's basically the track hardening. It's rubber, and it's a rubber surface. So 2nd and goal now from the 4. Cobras looking to tie the score here, and now comes a man in motion, number 3. He'll take the pitch. That is John Santos, and Santos is stopped from behind the line of scrimmage.
Gregory, beautiful, coming up from his lineman position, and a beautiful tackle for a loss for the Greenjackets.
Jake Gregory earlier this year had an opportunity to play in an all-star game at the Pro Football Hall of Fame complex out in Canton, Ohio, at Tom Benson Stadium.
And if I recall off the top of my head, a graduate of Whitehall about 4 or 5 years ago.
Yep, he's a Whitehall grad. Gotta love those Railroaders. Of course, now they've merged with Granville, and they don't have a nickname yet, the Granville Whitehall team. So 3rd down and goal from the 4. Here comes Santos in motion. Looking to set up the screen. Cam looking to throw, dumps one off to Pina inside the 5. And he gets pushed back, and we got a late flag. Let's see what the flag is. And that might be going against the Greenjackets.
Yeah, Francis a little bit too much with the extracurricular, playing through the whistle, and he's going to get called for the unsportsmanlike, and it'll be 1st and goal to goal now for Middleboro.
9:19 left here till halftime. It's 6-0 in favor of Glens Falls. As we mentioned, the Division II semifinals going on today. Earlier today, 2:30 p.m., the Connecticut Reapers are at the Rhode Island Riptide. And just getting underway, as I look at about half an hour from now at 8 o'clock, it will be the Vermont Ravens taking on the New England Bombers on the road in Massachusetts at 8 o'clock. So,
1-yard line, 1st and goal.
1st and goal now for the 1. For the Cobras, looking to equalize this score here.
Coming out in the Wildcat again.
In the backfield's number 34, that's Thaddeus France. Pina in the Wildcat, he'll take it himself. Looking to find the hole for the end zone, and he is in for the touchdown. Jordan Pina, time of the touchdown, is 6:11 of the second quarter. A nice drive after the short punt return. So that was also a 55-yard drive.
Jake Gregory's got to get his hat back on before he gets flagged for being frustrated. I get it. Had a great play a couple of plays ago for a loss. Can't lose your emotion in such a big moment like this one.
So 56-yard drive for the Cobras.
Attempting the extra point, number 6, Colby Blakely.
And Colby Blakely will attempt the extra point. Here's the snap. Kick is up. Almost blocked. But we got a flag in the play, and we got running into the holder, and Can just took a shot.
I think Anthony was off sides coming across the line of scrimmage too quickly. Got 2 flags on the play, I believe.
Well, one of them is a roughing, and Can got the worst of it. And let's see, they're talking things over here, what penalty they want. Because what they'll probably do is they'll let them re-kick, but at the same time they say they might add one of the penalties to the end of the kickoff. So we're tied at 6 now here. 6:11 at the time of the touchdown here in the second quarter. And they will retry the kick.
And if you're wondering why both penalties get applied, the offsides was during the play. The personal foul came during the dead ball post-play. So that is the reason why, by rule, that'll get added on to the kickoff.
So we've got a new holder now as Blakely hands over the flag to the official. So as you remember, on defensive offside, the ball is live. So guess what? If he made the kick, they could have declined it. But then, of course, we had the the extracurricular where Curtis Can just got run over. Here's the snap. Kick is up, and it is blocked at the line of scrimmage. And now the ball's bouncing around. Someone's got it in his hands. It's still live.
Rugby.
And we've got a rugby scrum. It goes into the end zone. And let's see what we got here. Middleboro saying it's in. And the official says it's in.
There's going to be a discussion.
The kick was blocked and popped up in the air, and no good.
Waved it off.
So with that, we're tied at 6.
Now, it's a combination of factors on that point after try, the second attempt, Kenny, by Blakely. One, you have a new holder. And when you are a place kicker, you have confidence in the person that you work with all the time being Can, because you know 99% of the time he's going to cleanly grab that ball out of the air from the center exchange, put it down on the block, and you know you can time it all out. At this level of ball, again, you lack a little confidence, that slight delay, and the penetration up the middle. You see where Glens Falls was stacking it. A low trajectory by the kicker, Blakely, allowed for that to get blocked by Glens Falls.
There is an art to being a holder that people don't understand. Not only do you have to catch the snap, but you got to make sure you spin the football while it's a timing play, that the laces are away from the kicker, so the kicker will have a clean shot at making the kick. All this is going on. The kicker is all set up and making his move, whether he do a quick little 2-step into the ball or a 3-step, because he's checking his angles, he's going to his wide, and then he's lining up and doing that soccer-style kick that was made famous by the legendary Gogolak brothers, Charlie and Pete, who both kicked in the NFL and AFL.
Well, I'll show my age on this one. Let's go back to the movie Pet Detective, and what was the old adage? Laces out. With Von Schaman and whatever the imaginary name was for the movie.
Uwe Von Schaman, man, there's a name for you.
Oh, way back.
Oklahoma and the Miami Dolphins, I believe, right?
Yeah, it was Miami, huh?
Yeah, him and then but he was, and Uwe Von Schaman, by the way, was a barefoot kicker. Now the three great barefoot kickers we know of. One was Uwe Von Schaman, another guy was Tony Franklin, and the third was Rich Carlos.
Yes.
From the Broncos.
And how he did that in Denver in those cold temps, who knows?
Now here's a kick, nice
Beautiful.
deep kick. That'll go into the end zone. That was Anthony Tognacci again.
Got another skirmish here at the 30 between number 51, Frank Ryan, and
Hammond's running it out.
Teixeira.
I thought they were going to call it dead because it went in the end zone.
No whistle. Nice heads-up play by Hammond as the skirmish was taking place back at the 35.
So will they move it back to the 25? But no, they're going to start it at the 35. It's going to come all the way out to the 37-yard line. So we'll make it a 38-yard return for John Hammond, who returned it about 3 yards deep in the end zone. There was contact going on. There was point of contact with the Green Jackets player and Cobras player. And let's see what happens now.
Once that little battle was taking place between both players there, everybody kind of relaxed, and heads-up play by Johnny to recognize that.
They thought the play was dead. I think a lot of players thought the play was dead, and they were just engaging themselves. And now let's see what we got here. Now we've got an
another conference.
Officials discussion here. With 8:32 left till halftime, we're tied at 6.
Now, the advantage of the referee we have tonight, he is very vocal in being able to make the plays and the calls. At this point, whoever came off the sideline, Kenny,
yeah,
the discussion conference took place and everything's going to stand.
I wonder if that's a league official who's, that's probably one of the league officials. So it ends up being a 38-yard return for John Hammond. So it's 1st and 10 for the Green Jackets 38. James Prastio Jr., Quentin Austin are in the backfield. Stasinski and Hammond are the receivers, split to either side of the field. Now Hammond comes in motion. Pitch number 1, James Prastio Jr. Looking to turn the corner, and he is tackled at the line of scrimmage, and there's going to be a late flag coming in.
I think they're going to get McDonald on a horse collar. Now, that was a pretty good setup. You had Hammond motion coming in from the far side. The play heads back to where he vacated. Quentin Austin had a great one-on-one block, but the pursuit of Middleboro to that side of the field cut down any alley, any lane Prastio would have. But at this point, the penalty ends up providing Glens Falls the opportunity to move the ball down, I believe, past midfield.
So a 15-yard face mask penalty brings the football into Cobras territory at their 46-yard line. Move the chains, start the clock up, 8:15 till halftime in a 6-6 tie. Stasinski takes a couple steps in motion. Pitch to number 1, James Prastio Jr. Head of steam, and he's tripped up at the 45. Play there by number 92. That was Anthony Tognacci, who had that nice long kickoff that got returned just now.
Stasinski, as you mentioned, Kenny, in motion, turned around, got the initial point of contact block. Also an assist by Bryce Lynch. Give Prastio credit for even trying to get the 1 yard there on first down, because again, Middleboro, good pursuit, team swarming defense to the ball.
2nd and 9 after the gain of 1. Hammond is lined up almost in a slide. Here comes Stasinski, keeping a couple steps in. Fake pitch to Prastio Jr. Caleb Condon looking to air it out. Scott Stasinski open, makes the catch at the 32-yard line. That's number 84, John Stasinski, for the Green Jackets.
Now, what Condon did, similar play. You had Stasinski start to go in motion back toward the line. You have Condon, fake toss to Prastio, look to one side to Hammond, came back to Stasinski, and Stasinski climbed the ladder, came down in his tiptoes, and nice pitch and catch.
12-yard reception for number 84, Stasinski, and it's 1st and 10, Green Jackets. Austin to the right of Condon, Prastio Jr. in the backfield. Hammond to the far side of the field, Stasinski to the near side. Stasinski takes a couple steps in. Now it looks like he's making a move across. Handoff, fake handoff.
He's open.
1. Here's a kind of looking for Stasinski, wide open, and it's caught. John Stasinski, number 84, a 31-yard reception to the 3-yard line.
And Condon is looking to get the team up to the line of scrimmage. Same play, different route. If Condon was able to get more oomph on that ball, that had 6 written on it to Stasinski. Nice adjustment by Johnny again.
That's a perfect execution of play action right there by the Greenjackets and Caleb Condon. Greenjackets looking to answer, to take the lead back. And
Prastio heads up.
And yeah, was that a bad snap or was it like a shovel pass?
It almost seemed like there was some confusion because the rest of the line wasn't moving when the center was looking to snap the ball.
And like you said, Tim, it looked like they were trying to rush the play when they didn't have to.
No, not at all.
And they were, so bring up a 2nd down now and 4. Timeout on the field. That's the first for the Greenjackets here.
Yeah, Coach Johnson, he wants to settle everybody down. This is a big opportunity here halfway through the 2nd quarter. You don't want to miss up this opportunity, Kenny.
No.
Get the chance after 2 really nice and pretty pass plays and catches by Stasinski to put this ball inside.
Middleboro will get the football to start the 2nd half, by the way. We're tied at 6 here. Greenjackets took the lead on the opening kickoff, going 55 yards on a James Prastio Jr. 2-yard run. And then the Cobras responded here in the 2nd quarter on a 56-yard drive, which started at the end of the first quarter, and it was Jordan Pena on a 1-yard run. Both the extra point attempts. The Greenjackets one was well right, and the Cobras attempt was blocked at the line of scrimmage. In fact, it popped up in the air a couple of times, and we had a rugby scrum that ran it into the end zone. We almost thought we might have had an extra point there or a 2-point conversion on that, but the officials nullified it.
So it looks like Condon will come up under center on this play.
2nd and goal now. Quentin Austin is the lone man in the backfield. He wears number 21. Hammond and Stasinski are the receivers. Tony Green Jr. is now playing tight end, has got him in as an additional tight end. Here comes Hammond in motion. He sets up. Handoff to 21, Quentin Austin. And Austin will be stopped at the 3-yard line.
Nice adjustment by Middleboro. You can see with the motion where Johnny was going, that would be John Hammond. Right behind the right guard, the right tackle. Middleboro just responded to the call.
And we got substitutions as Pickering and Prastio comes in, replacing John Hammond and Tony Green Jr. Tony Green, who plays most of the time on defense, he's also a tight end. That's where he played. That's what he was playing at Glens Falls High School with Joe Girard III, pitching him balls. Part of those state championship teams that Glens Falls they won the 2 in a stretch of 3 years with Joe Girard III. Yeah, the basketball player at quarterback, and their only loss in sectional play and state play was in the state semifinals down in Middletown.
Right up the middle with Prastio, Austin, the lead blocker.
I formation, long snap count. Prastio Jr., number 1, takes the handoff, looking to turn the corner, and he is stopped nicely. It started with number 34 on the play. That was Thaddeus France, got the initial contact.
And that was a great play by France. He just was sitting there at the point off the right tackle, read the play perfectly, got the initial contact on Prastio, and the rest of the defense was able to come up and clean up.
4th and goal for the Greenjackets at the Cobras 5-yard line. That's where the football is. Let's see what happens now. Do they bring out Bennett to attempt a field goal? Greenjackets are going to use their 2nd timeout.
I think this is where you got to sit back and kind of talk about things. How confident do you feel if you don't convert here for 6 about having Middleboro go the distance of the field and how your defense is playing? Your defense has been great, but let's just say that Can looks comfortable in the pocket when they go 4 and 5 wide, and Glens Falls hasn't been able to quite get the pressure on Can.
It'll be interesting how Curtis Can comes out after taking that shot on the first extra point attempt.
Absolutely.
Where it was an offside. They blew the whistle, and then the Greenjackets defender just blew through the play and just ran over Can like a truck, like a Mack truck hitting running over a harmless bicycle. So let's see what the Green Jackets will do. They will go for it here on 4th down.
By the way, that was a good way to put it.
It was, man. There was the old term defenseless receiver. How about a defenseless holder? We use the term. So Prastio deep, pistol formation with Quentin Austin to the right. 2 wide receivers split out either side of the field. Long snap count and fake a handoff. Condon looking to throw, finding one over the middle, and it's almost picked off.
And Stasinski says he got his feet in, but they're going to say incomplete. One of the defensive backs, I believe, it was number 34, France again, involved in the play, was able to tip that ball before Stasinski had the opportunity.
And the good news, Curtis Can is running out on the field for Middleboro. Had a chance to get his bearings after that shot. Oh man!
All right, we already talked about how Middleboro can spread the field and move the ball on the Glens Falls defense. Let's see now if one, Barito is out in the middle. It doesn't look like he is. Now 2. How does Glens Falls start to kind of shut down this passing game in Middleboro?
Yeah, Curtis Cannon has done a great job of finding Paul Santos in slot position space on these in patterns. And now here's the pitch to Jordan Pina. Pina finds some room, breaks the tackle at the 20, 30, and he is still on his feet, finally taken out at the 32-yard line. So and a late flag comes up. A nice play there. A 28-yard run for Jordan Pina. Let's see what the flag is.
And Pickering is coming off limping. Another injury for Glens Falls.
Let's see where the flag is. Both teams are pointing at each other. Paul, I believe that's 83. That is Todman talking with Tony Green about things.
Check that, not Pickering. That was Brandon Fish coming off the field.
And I think we had unsportsmanlike on both sides, but they're actually going to move this one back.
Penalty. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Assist from Middleboro.
So if you're a Glens Falls fan, you're happy to see the ball go back, because on the last play there were at least 3 or 4 missed tackles where you just don't see the arms getting around the player, the running back Pina, around his legs to try to get him down. You can't just sit there and hope to shoulder him and get him down to the ground. You can see Pina's got some strength.
So B, what happened is it was an unsportsmanlike after the play. So after the play was over, they moved the ball from the spot of the foul to the 15-yard line. So it's 1st and 25. Low snap, Can hands it off. There's Pina stumbling to the 20 for a gain of 5. And
I believe coming up from his safety position is a number 4, Hermanson.
Another one of the Hudson Falls kids, Connor Hermanson.
Tackle on the play, number 4, Connor Hermanson.
See you, Pete. And of course, we just had a low from the legend, the number Roman numeral 10 of Pete Cloutier.
The oldest player in the NFL to succeed scoring.
And he scored,
6.
and it was against these Middleboro Cobras that he joined the record book, scoring that touchdown at the start of the second half.
Got 3 to the far side, split out.
It'll be 2nd and 20 now for the Cobras. Can with a snap count, and he'll look to throw. Flushed out of the pocket, rolls to his right, throwing one for the sideline.
Pass incomplete.
And there's a nice pat on the back. It gets picked up by the defender coming in.
Tony Green Jr. getting into Can's grill. Nice play by Can, because he realized everybody was covered over on that side. The back hadn't completely gotten out into the flat. And you know what? Chalk that out of bounds. You don't lose anything on a penalty. And you don't, more importantly, make a mistake on this side of the field.
2:46 left till halftime. We're tied at 6 here. As you are watching on YouTube, the Glens Falls Greenjackets and Middleboro Cobras here in this New England Football League championship game, the Division II championship. Division I championship will take place next week, as Rhode Island and Connecticut played this afternoon. And the Vermont Ravens and New England Bombers are about 10 minutes away from getting underway there, that being taking place at the home of the Bombers. Now third down. Can flush out of his pocket. Green almost had him. Looking to throw over the middle. Complete to Sanchez. And this is going to be close to the first down marker where Sanchez went out of bounds again. Curtis Can has done a great job, Tim, all game long of finding Paul Sanchez in space.
And this is where Sanchez actually got separation, but Can had to buy more time and get away from Tony Green Jr. and give Sanchez credit because he readjusted his route, which was a post route into the middle of the field toward the 50, and circled back to where Can was scrambling to give his quarterback an opportunity to deliver the ball. Beautiful pitch and catch between, again, Sanchez and Can.
And it was enough for the first down. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 40.5-yard line. Just got past the marker with 2:23 left. Middleboro has all three of their timeouts left. Glens Falls has one. And Middleboro with the football to start the second half. Pina in the backfield. Curtis Can looking, and he'll look to throw. He's got some time. Here comes Tony Green. Got him on the sack. Ball is loose. And I believe it was recovered by number 37 for the Greenjackets, Troy Trent.
Beautiful man-on-man rush by Tony Green Jr. Beat his man, took Can down to the ground, loses the ball, and Troy Trent Jr. says, oh, look what I found.
Perfectly executed edge rush by Tony Green Jr., number 11, and Troy Trent Jr., number 37, picks up the fumble. Second turnover of the ball game by the Cobras, and the Greenjackets have got themselves some good field position with them 2:13 left till halftime, and the ball on the Middleboro 32-yard line.
This is where Caleb Condon has to take control of the huddle and control of the offense. Plenty of time right now as Middleboro takes the timeout, which now gives Glens Falls an opportunity to kind of look at what was working maybe on that last play. The couple of passing plays to Szynski. Short field, 2 minutes plus. This is plenty of time, and you want to take the time off the clock because, as you mentioned, Kenny, Middleboro gets the ball coming out in the second half.
So the Greenjackets will take over following the sack and fumble and recovery by Troy Trent Jr. Quentin Austin playing the role of water boy right now, as Paul Pickering's out there looking to talk to his offense.
And by the way, if we time this correctly with the weather gods above, there's some showers, some rain coming up from Saratoga Springs, Galway, towards Stillwater. Probably be coming in over the next half hour to an hour.
As I said to you, we don't have to worry about mud.
Thank goodness.
You might have some of those nice little rubber pebbles that, protect you and everything on the jerseys that'll turn your white to gray. But other than that, it looks pretty good right now. James Prastio Jr. to the right. 3 wide receivers split out, 2 to one side. Szynski to the near side.
Hammond's got nobody on him in the slot.
Now setting up a screen. That is Skylar Pickering, number 10, and Pickering get a nice little pick set up by Szynski. He's knocked out of bounds.
That was a beautiful block by Szynski, Kenny, on number 36, Norman Burns, and a beautiful read by Pickering to bounce around John Szynski to get outside for a nice gain on first down.
Short gains for number 10, Skylar Pickering, on the completion. 2nd and 5 for the Greenjackets. 2:08 left till halftime. We're tied at 6. With the Cobras getting the ball to start the second half after they won the coin toss and elected to defer.
3 split out to the far side.
Bunch formation. Prastio Jr. to the right of Caleb Condon. Here comes a man in motion. It's Pickering again. And Condon will look to throw, rolls to his right, looking to throw, zips 1, 2, number 84, John Stasinski. That's enough for a Green Jackets first down.
And a nice read by Stasinski, because the safety, number 16, Mackenzie Harrison, is now shading over towards Stasinski's side after those 2 long pass plays on the previous drive. So now Condon's going to have to look more toward Hammond or another person to step up at this point, with the way now Middleboro has started to adjust.
Now it's a 7-yard gain and a first down at the 21-yard line for Stasinski, who's had a couple of catches here in this first half. A beautiful one of 34 yards got the Green Jackets to the 3-yard line, but they got stopped on downs by a good, solid Middleboro defense. These two teams have a very similar history, because both of these teams were founded in the late 20s.
Yep.
And the Cobras, like a lot of semi-pro teams, didn't play during the pandemic, and when they started getting back into a sense of normalcy, they came back and joined the New England Football League. The Green Jackets have been playing in different leagues throughout New York and New England, and this is their first year here in the New England League after being in the Empire League for a couple more years.
3 to the near side. Hammond's in the slot this time.
And Condon again looks to throw. He's got a blitz, throws one over the middle, and looking for Hammond and Stasinski, who are both in the area.
Hammond took his guy on the inside, both running similar routes. Stasinski was maybe a yard or 2 deeper, and he had nothing but real estate around him, and Condon just needed to deliver the ball more accurately.
So 2nd down and 10 from the 21 with 1:53 left till halftime, and now the clock stops on incomplete passes. Clock will stop to move the chains on a first down. And we got ourselves a timeout.
Middleboro.
And Middleboro uses their 2nd timeout. So each team has got 1 timeout remaining as we get closer and closer to halftime.
The chess match continues. And I would think at this point, to everybody's expectation, again, Glens Falls loses by 1 back in July, 7-6 at Middleboro, and then they shut out the Cobras 13-0 last month here in Glens Falls.
I'm sorry, but every time I hear Dan Miner talk about the Shane Falco, anytime you get a reference to the replacements, you know, great football movie. There's Gene Hackman playing the head coach, and you're saying, wait a minute, weren't you the guy in Hoosiers and all those other movies? Yeah, he was. Great movie, too.
And you can tell Danny's ramping up for Adirondack Thunder season the way he's going tonight.
Yes, he is.
2 weeks away.
I know. Man, they got the exhibition games coming up. Exhibition games coming up on the 12th and 13th. And then they open the season the 21st in Worcester against the Railers, and then they got the home opener. It'll be interesting to see. And, of course, they announced the league has announced at least 1 expansion team for next year in Lake Tahoe, Nevada.
Oh, wow.
Co-owned by Tim Tebow and his group.
Really?
Yeah. Now Condon looking to throw, sets up a screen pass. That's James Prascio Jr., number 1.
Nice move.
Makes a couple of jukes at the 15, and he's going to be inside the 10-yard line for a first down.
Stasinski had his route again wide open on the near side. Condon decided to quickly read Prascio, and Prascio made all those moves.
I think it's coming back, unless the officials called the timeout. No, they called the officials called the timeout. I thought there was a call in the field, but what it was there was a player, number 7 went down, and that was Keelan McDonald, and they had to tell him he was going out. So that's what the call was. I thought there might have been a flag for a man downfield. Now we got ourselves the 3rd timeout taken by the Middleboro Cobras. I wonder if that means they're going to try to get McDonald back in the game.
I think what they're trying to do at this point is the whistle with McDonald going off the field was after the play, because the play stands. They take the timeout, like you say, Kenny, so that way now McDonald can stay on the field.
That's often what happens, is that you have that option of either losing the player for a play, or you can call a timeout to say, look, we'll call the timeout, and that way he gets, because he got up about 10 seconds after he went down. But it was all James Prastio Jr., number 1 on that, making some spin moves, breaking a couple tackles, and getting to the 9, which was enough for the first down. It was a 12-yard screen pass and run. As we've got 1:29 left till halftime, and we're tied at 6 here.
First and goal from the 9.
Trips near side.
So here we go. 3 wide receivers to one side of the field, 1 to the far side. James Prastio in the backfield next to Caleb Condon. And it'll be a pass. Condon steps up in the pocket. And this time he's going to take it himself to the 5, and he's knocked out of bounds. Good play there by Skylar Pickering to set the block on number 34, Thaddeus France.
And Pickering, he was looking for the screen. Condon rolls to the nearest side. And at a certain point, Condon's going to take off, and Pickering's like, you know what? I'm going to go take my man and allow Condon to be able to get something on that play.
Pickering comes out, and Jason Profit comes in. And when a wide receiver is able to set blocks, it does so much for an offense, especially on screen passes, or in that case where the quarterback saw nothing but had some open field. He was able to get a couple extra yards. So 2nd and goal from the 4.
This has opened up the middle for Prastio in the running game.
And it is a handoff to number 1, James Prastio Jr., and he gets stopped about the 3, so a gain of 1. 1:13 left till the end of the half.
And Middleboro going after Prastio's right arm where he was carrying the ball and trying to rip it out.
Middleboro's done a good job, especially in the red zone, of really winning the battle in the trenches. Actually, it's more like no one's won. It's been more like a neutral battle. It's just a matter of James Prastio trying to break the line. Again, 4 wide receivers split out, 3 to the near side, 1 to the far, and Prastio in the backfield.
Middleboro, only 1 lineman down in the stance.
Now Condon looking to throw. Trying to find something over the middle. Intercepted in the end zone. And I believe that's number 31. Is it 31? Or was it 51?
Not sure if it was 31, whether it was Harrison or perhaps Thaddeus France. But a great read. And obviously Condon did not see the defender while looking for the receiver. Big missed opportunity by Glens Falls.
One thing I've noticed that we haven't seen the tight ends in play in this first half yet, and that would have been a perfect opportunity. We've seen Trayvon Carpenter on the sideline, who was the number 1 tight end for the Greenjackets. That would be interesting to see Trayvon Carpenter, if that would have been a perfect setup for him. Come out, take set up off a block, go into that slot area where that interception took place, and he could have been wide open.
And he's got the height, too.
Yes.
Same thing with McCray. They were running the pass routes in pregame to McCray and to Carpenter. Let's see what Glens Falls now talks about coming into halftime and makes the offensive adjustments.
And what we're going to see is a victory formation as the Cobras with 28 seconds will go into the half tied at 6, knowing they get the football to start the second half. We've had a very entertaining first half of football, to say the least, Tim, as we're tied at 6. We'll do a quick recap before we go to our halftime break. The Cobras won the toss, elected to defer. Greenjackets took the opening kickoff 55 yards on a James Prastio 2-yard run, set up by the running of Prastio Jr. and Quentin Austin, and the Greenjackets made it 6-0. The kick was no good, a little bit wide right. Then in the second quarter, at the end of the first quarter and the start of the second, the Middleboro Cobras, after a Greenjackets punt, went on a 56-yard drive of their own, capped off by a Jordan Pina run on the single wing option direct snap from center. And again, there was some good passing. Curtis Can has done an excellent job finding Paul Sands as his primary receiver, especially coming out of the slot in space. And Jordan Pina has done some dirty work with the runs and everything.
Absolutely agree with that. And interesting to see how now Middleboro ends up continuing to feature not only Pina, but Sanses. They have a great connection, Can and Sanses. Now, what does Glens Falls do? You left one there right going into halftime. the mistakes. Coach Johnson said it flat out. No mistakes. Focused all week. They were clean in the first quarter, made some mistakes in the second quarter. Be interesting and should be a great second half, Kenny.
2 turnovers on fumbles by the Cobras. Green Jackets haven't been able to cap. A big turnover here by the Cobras on the interception in the end zone as the Green Jackets, once again, were looking to try to score. Well, we're going to take our break. We're going to take a break for halftime. We'll come back with second half coverage of this New England Football League championship game. We're tied at 6 apiece between the Middleboro Cobras and the Glens Falls Greenjackets, and you are tuned in to the Glens Falls Greenjackets on YouTube. You're watching the Glens Falls Greenjackets and Middleboro Cobras in this New England Football League championship game. About a minute 17 left till we start the second half. We're tied at 6. And Tim, the key in this second half for both sides, of course, the Greenjackets, they couldn't take advantage of the turnover, the 2 fumbles that they created.
And that last opportunity going into halftime and not being able to convert, and that pick by Condon in the end zone by Middleboro is going to be one glaring thing that we continue to refer back to in the second half. For Middleboro, you know they're going to come out and feature both Pina and Sances. They had some success, and I think they scored their touchdown out of the Wildcat with Pina. Sances has that connection with Can. You can see it, and Sances is able to break off his route based on how Can is moving around in the pocket in order to be able to still do the pitch and catch for the Cobras.
On the Green Jackets side, once again, if they can establish that run game, which they have with James Prastio Jr. and Quentin Austin, they'll be fine. Stasinski, Pickering, and Hammond each have seen touches. Like to see them get more involved with the tight ends. Trayvon Carpenter could be a big impact in the second half. They get him open out in the slot and over the middle. He's going to create a mismatch for those linebackers and into those secondary guys. So getting set, the Green Jackets will be kicking the football off. It'll be number 29, Dwayne Bennett, to do the kicking. Back deep for the Cobras are number 20, that's DJ Amaya, and number 22, Jordan Pina. So 20 Amaya and 22 Pina, awaiting the kick from number 29, Dwayne Bennett.
And give credit to both squads. They both made the adjustments they needed to do defensively to shut one another's offense out, Kenny. Like you said, can Glens Falls feature the tight end? And conversely, can Middleboro continue to feature Pina and Sances? And I guess the big question right now, does Todd Barito come back from that wrist injury, his left wrist, to play in the second half?
Well, he's there on the sideline with his one wrist. Looks like it's in ice right now. As Bennett gets set to kick it off, 15 minutes on the clock. Tied at 6. Both teams scored touchdowns on short fields. One went 59, 5 yards. The other one 56 for their touchdowns. And here we go, getting set. Start the second half. Bennett lining it up. Deep setup. Takes a couple steps to his right. He's a left-footed kicker. And here it comes. Deep end over end.
Good kick.
Jordan, it was taken by the up man at the 20-yard line to the 30, to the 31, and that was DJ Amaya on the return.
Nice open field tackle by Quentin Austin. See what Middleboro decides to come out and attack first here offensively.
And in the far corner, in the back left of the end zone, you see the championship trophy waiting there for somebody.
Get your 50-50 tickets ready, coming up right after
the Stanley Cup, by the way, if you're a hockey fan, is right now currently in Melbourne, Australia, where the LA Kings and Phoenix Coyotes are going to be playing their second of 2 exhibition games at the Rob Laver Tennis Arena, where they play the Australian Open. They put the ice down there on the over the tennis court. And they played the first 2 exhibition games there, and the Stanley Cup was making an appearance. Hand off to Jordan Pina on this first down carry to the 34-yard line, a gain of 3.
Good tackle by Tyler Brown. Troy Trent Jr. holding to Massachusetts, a short gain on first down.
2-4, 2-8.
So that's what we got for you. That's right, the Stanley Cup making an appearance as the NHL looking to expand its footprint. They show NHL games in Australia, but the game isn't as popular as some of the other sports like rugby and Aussie rules football, which I admit I'm a huge Aussie rules football fan. I'm looking forward to next week's grand final between Collingwood and the Brisbane Lions. And now here's the pitch to Jordan Pina. Cuts it back inside. Tackled there by Pickering and Tony Green Jr., and he moves the
going.
Piles to the 40. And he's going to be about a yard or two shy of the first down.
A nice read by Pina to be able to cut that back.
Green Jr. on the tackle.
And a good swarming defense by Glens Falls and trying to bring Pina down.
Yeah, 3rd and 2. As I said, I was watching Aussie Rules yesterday morning at 5:30 in the morning. When you have a pet cat, who needs to be fed, it's very easy to get up that early.
There's nothing better than a cup of coffee and Australian rules football now.
I love it. And the Collingwood Magpies, by the way, there's a young man by the name of Mason Cox. He's the only American who plays in the league. 6'10", was a college basketball player at Oklahoma State. Was all set to start a job working with NASA in aerospace engineering. And he tried out. Here's Santos in motion. Hand off to Pina.
Oh.
Pina will get it up the middle, break some tackles to the 50, and tackled at the 47-yard line of the Greenjackets. Making that stop was number 23. That was Caden Ogilvie from his defensive back position.
And you see number 62, Jake Gregory, arguing or at least making a case for the fact that he was held because where he vacated on the trenches from the defensive side was exactly where the running back blew through, and Gregory felt that he was kind of pulled and tugged out of the way as he was making his way upfield.
They had 97,000 people at the Melbourne Cricket Ground for the game Friday night between the Collingwood Magpies and the Greater Western Sydney Giants, and it turned out to be a one-point game. I think it was like 57-56 was the final score.
Sounds like an arena football game.
Oh, it was a great game. And we had movement, and we had flinching, and it's going to be an offside against the Greenjackets on that play.
Yep, it's going to be against Glens Falls. I think Tony Green Jr. got a little bit too far across the line of scrimmage and couldn't get back in time.
Yeah, Mason Cox played soccer in high school and was a teammate of Marcus Smarts of the Boston Celtics. Walked on as a basketball player. A very smart young man and was going to go into aerospace engineering. He's in Los Angeles, and they found out about this tryout. And he tried out, and they actually brought him over to Australia, and he's been playing for 10 years in the league. The lone American in Australian rules football, by the way, and he's going to be playing in the grand final next week. Now here's a handoff to Pina, up the middle to the 40, gets a yard, and we got ourselves a nice big old pile and stop there.
Tyler Brown was coming off the corner, couldn't get to Pina in time to get his arms around his feet. Still good swarmy defense on the interior by Glens Falls.
Keel Anthony getting some defensive signals. I know there's some great college football games tonight. I know Notre Dame is playing Ohio State tonight.
Should be excellent.
I believe is that game in South Bend tonight, or is that at
yes,
Horseshoe?
South Bend.
It's at Notre Dame Stadium?
Should be an electric atmosphere.
Oh, definitely. You got two of the premier historical great programs. So 2nd down and 5 after no gain. And Pina again, he'll look to turn the corner to the right side. In pursuit, Tony Green's there, makes the first stop, and Pina cuts back for a couple yards, and he will get the first down at the 34-yard line.
Tony Green Jr. and Jake Gregory had the read, had the pursuit as you see a flag go flying up, but
where did that come from?
Didn't anticipate the cutback by Pina, who ended up circling back around both Greenjackets to get at least what was close to a first down.
Let's see what the flag is. It's in the defensive backfield. It's in the offensive backfield. And they're talking things over here. It must be unsportsmanlike against Middleboro. Let's see what the call is.
They're talking right now to Tyler Brown, the Greenjackets. Holding
on the offense. And let's see where the spot of the foul is. And if the spot is where they... Okay.
And unsportsmanlike conduct.
So that's a big penalty going against Middleboro now.
So that's a 20. If they tack on both of them, that's 25 yards.
Both penalties will be marched off against Middleboro.
And that is a 25-yard penalty against the Cobras. 10:16 left here in this third quarter. We're just underway in the second half. Tied at 6.
And again, marching off the hold was during the play. After the play, the unsportsmanlike assessed on top, the reason why it's marched all the way back.
So the ball's on the 37. 13, 16, it'll bring up 26 yards to the first down. And I believe it's going to be 2nd and 26. 2 wide receivers split out to either side of the field for the Cobras. Pina in the backfield along with Curtis Can, the quarterback.
Showing blitz.
And here comes the blitz. Can throws it over the middle, almost picked off, tipped by Dejon Tyler as that went over the middle.
Dejon Tyler's going to sit back and think about that one all the rest of this weekend, because if he just was able to snare that out of the air.
And we got ourselves a flag on the play. Greenjackets looking over it. Decline,
it's what Coach Johnson's saying.
And there's an eligible man downfield. What happens is on a blitz like that, you try to set up something, and the lineman, it's his job to break. And the lineman broke before the ball was in the air. So 3rd down and 26. The first down marker is at the Greenjackets 37-yard line. And again, the crowd starting the chants, getting the metal bleachers a little bit shaken here up in the press box at Putnam Mayfield at Glens Falls High School on this Saturday night. The first official day of fall. Now, you being the meteorologist would know, was it 2:37 or 3:37 this morning that fall officially came in?
I did not take note of the time for a change.
Here's the setup, and the ball bounces in looking for Jordan Pina. Again,
I can tell you, because it was very noticeable, Todd Baritow back on the field in his middle linebacker position for Glens Falls, which is fantastic news.
Now, meteorological fall started on September 1st. The actual autumnal equinox started today. Early this morning, I think it was either 2:37 or 3:37 in the morning.
2:50 a.m. EDT. So you had it right the first time. You were spot on.
I'm very close, yeah. Between the calendar at home and actually watching enough weather people to let you know when the actual time is, you take note of those things. Quickly.
Especially if you're a fan of pumpkin spice lattes.
Oh, yes. And now a punt formation for, here's the kick. McCann will kick it off. High end over end. Hammond's going to let it bounce. And it'll die at about the 31.5-yard line. So a couple of penalties helped the Greenjackets, the hold, the unsportsmanlike, and some good play, taking advantage of the aggressive defense, the blitzing done by the edge rushers, and so the Greenjackets will have their first possession of the football game. This is actually their worst field position of the game. They've been very fortunate with their field positions, either starting somewhere between the 35 and 50-yard lines. 8:04 left here in the third quarter. 6-6 is your score. First quarter touchdown by James Prasio Jr. and a second quarter touchdown by Jordan Pina. A blocked extra point and a missed extra point. That's where we are.
And you've been advocating for this, the right side tight end, Trayvon Carpenter in this formation.
2 wide receivers split out. Here comes Quentin Austin in motion.
Let's.
And the pitch to number 1, James Prastio Jr. And Prastio will actually lose a couple of yards. It'll bring up a 2nd and 12.
I want to say Kellen McDonald, first point of attack from Middleboro.
2nd and 12 for Glens Falls. As you're watching this coverage of the New England Football League Championship game on YouTube, whether you're here locally or anywhere you are in Middleboro, Mass, thanks for tuning in to us. I know you're listening, you're watching at a big screen TV in the bar. I hope you're enjoying the broadcast we got for you. Also, I know some people from Rhode Island said they're going to be tuning in. So I hope you're enjoying everything. And here comes John Stasinski, number 84, in motion. And the handoff is to number 1, James Prastio Jr. to the 30.
Ooh, nice hit.
And gets a hit, and he's taken out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Some great movement up front. You can see some great engagements by the linemen. Saw one, Kellen Scott got engaged with Thaddeus France, and again, another matchup there. I think Quentin Austin was engaged with Norman Burns. But some nice engagement when they pick themselves up, give themselves a pat on the back. They know what's at stake here.
Absolutely.
And they know it's going to be physical, it's going to be tough. But in the end, they each give themselves a pat on the back and say nice play and keep it clean as possible.
He had Stasinski go in and get a block on the inside. Prastio bouncing it outside, and nice chest-on-chest activity between Prastio and Mancini for Middleboro. Second down play.
Third and 4. Sorry about that, Tim. 3rd and 4 now for the Green Jackets. Hammond and Stasinski are split out to the far side of the field. Stasinski in a slot formation with men on either side.
8 men in the box.
And here comes Prastio. Number 1, Prastio takes the head of steam. He's got the first down and more to the 40, 45, and he's knocked out of bounds. That was a good set block there at the end by Jonathan Hammond, and it ends up being 12 yards and a first down.
And Glens Falls had success last week, Kenny, when they had Prastio kind of do that little, I'm going to take a couple of steps, motion to one side or the other, and then do the loop-to-loop to get the ball on a handoff from Condon. Wide open real estate on that far side with Hammond leading the charge down the field blocking.
5:53 left here in the third quarter. We're tied at 6. This is the first possession of the second half for the Glens Falls Green Jackets.
Callister on the field for the first time.
And the handoff is to James Prastio Jr., number 1. And he is tackled there, and now we've got our little bit of extracurricular activity there. That's Trayvon Carpenter matching up with number 14, Joe Mangini, excuse me. And we've be a 4-yard carry for James Prastio Jr.
And McAllister is on the field because Quentin Austin is sitting on the bench in some pain right now.
And we've got ourselves a lineman down. I believe that's 56.
Yep.
That's Adam McKittrick, I believe from Granville High School. So timeout on the field while they tend to Adam McKittrick with 4:59 left here in this third quarter. 2 other games today, one this afternoon, the other one tonight as we speak going on. That is the AA, the Class A semifinals. As earlier today, the Connecticut Reapers were taking on the Rhode Island Riptide in Cranston, Rhode Island. That was a 2:30 start time. And the Vermont Ravens traveled to take on the Bombers of New England at 8 p.m. And that game got underway a little bit later than our game, which we got underway just after 7. And McKittrick getting up, a little bit slow, but dinged up. And they're just going to give him a little help here. Trainers and Tony Green Sr. helping Adam McKittrick up, number 56.
And I believe number 77 now will come in, Marcus Blair, to pick up the assignment on the line.
It's 2nd down and 6.
2nd down and 6 for the Green Jackets. Ball is at the 50-yard line, right in the middle of that GF. The new GF, which is right in the middle of the soccer circle and the, I guess you could also say the lacrosse circle, center field, even the field hockey circle. I guess we call that the center circle for field hockey, lacrosse, and soccer. Now that they were playing all 3 sports on this turf field as well, you could see all the different lines and colors for everything. As this turf was put in just over the summer after the first turf lasted 15 years. Back in 2008, they put it down here.
Blitz.
And now handoff inside to James Prastio Jr. Gets tackled from behind for a loss of 1.
And the 2 players blitzing that time, McDonald and Saint, were in on the tackle on Prastio.
The first game that they played on the artificial turf here back in 2008, the opponent was the Scotia Glenville Tartans. Glens Falls won that game, and of course the new field was christened last night. They had a block party and everything. As finally the Glens Falls Black Bears got to play a home game on it. The football team hadn't played on it yet. The first team that really got a chance to play on this field was the soccer team about 2 weeks ago. And the Green Jackets were here last week. So second, actually it's like 3rd and 11 or 3rd and 9. Condon looking to throw, rolls to his right. Sees the blitz. What a nice block there by Prastio. And Condon had nothing. That is a coverage sack right there. Great job by the Middleboro secondary. And Condon went out of bounds, rolled out of bounds at midfield again, so for no gain. So bring up 4th down.
And we both saw it, Kenny. Heads up play by Prastio to turn around and get the defender that was coming on the backside of Condon. Nice block by Prastio to be able to buy some more time for Caleb Condon.
Heath Armstrong back to punt now. Back to receive the kick is Jeff Stewart, number 24. And here's the kick.
Oof.
That might have been blocked or went off the side of his foot. And it's going to roll to about the 33-yard line. Was that either blocked or it's shanked?
Shanked. That was a shank. That's where you sit back and you've got defenders making second-level penetration. You take your time, catch the ball first, 1 and kick, or 1-2 and then kick and follow through. Armstrong's going to regret that one.
He's not your rugby-style kicker either, so he's not going to be running, doing a little quick move to the right or left and trying to rugby-style that kick down the field. No, that was a good old-fashioned shank off his foot. So 1st and 10 now for the Cobras from their 33. So both teams have had their possessions in the second half, and both teams ended up punting the ball after getting a couple of first downs on both sides.
And making mistakes, too.
Curtis Can with Jordan Pina to his right. 4 wide receivers split out, 2 to either side of the field for the Cobras, going from right to left here.
Blitz.
And handoff inside to Pina. Pina breaks a tackle at the 35, and he'll be tackled there by number 24. Tyler Brown hanging on for dear life, and Pina still moving the pile to about the 42-yard line, so a gain of 9.
Tyler Brown had him. He was looking for some help, but the help actually came from the Cobras side of things and kept the rugby pile moving forward.
So 2nd and 2, actually. They'll stop him at the 41 with 2 minutes and 24 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. Still tied at 6.
And that crowd noise that was so succinct in the first half, Kenny, I think is kind of translated into more of an uneasy, queasy feeling on the Glens Falls sideline.
The Greenjackets scored on their first possession of the football game, which was the opening kickoff, and since then, it's been almost like a battle of field positions by both sides, and Middleboro's gotten the better of the play.
Very reminiscent of their first game back in July. Blitz.
And now here's Can on a quarterback. Actually, it's Pina, by the way, on the single wing option, and loss of a couple, so we'll bring up a 3rd and 4.
Troy Trent Jr.'s got to settle down. He was sparring a little bit with France from Middleboro.
And coming out is Akil Ant. Now, actually, Akil Anthony come to the sideline to set up the defense.
That's 3rd and 4.
So loss of 3. Back on the other side of the 40-yard line at the 39. Steve Glauden comes in now on a substitution. Todd Barito, by the way, is back out there at middle linebacker. He had his left wrist taped up, and they were icing it down at halftime after he got injured in the first half.
You can just tell by Barito's stature. Just tape me up and put me back in, coach.
Long snap count. Greenjackets looking to show blitz. Here they come. Can in trouble, rolls to his right. Tony Green looking to flush him out of the pocket, gets a piece of him, throws it down the field. Tipped and intercepted by the Greenjackets.
I think it's Tyler Brown. Nope, Brandon Fish.
Tony Green got a piece of Curtis Can after he hit that, just as he released the football. It was a tip drill, and the Greenjackets on their 3rd turnover of the ball game take over, and Jordan Pina was angry. He threw his helmet down in disgust.
And that's something that Can in the first half would have thrown away, but he's looking right down the field, and he can see it's less than a minute in the 3rd quarter, and you're tied at 6 in a championship game, and just forced it when he should have just probably thrown out of bounds and continued to play field position.
1st and 10 from the 39 of Middleboro. The Greenjackets take over. Prastio and Queen Austin in the backfield. Stasinski and Hammond split out to either side. Here's Stasinski in motion. Fake the pitch
Nice.
off to number 21, Quentin Austin, who's got some room to the 29-yard line. Just shy of the first down marker, so give him 9.5 on the carry.
And that was great ball play, ball action by Condon, who gets the snap, ball up in the air, looks like he's going to pitch it, turns around inside, handoff to Austin, and that left side was completely wide open by the blocking for a nice pickup by Quentin Austin.
One of the good things about seeing the lights here so close, we could actually see the rain starting to come down now. And I saw some umbrellas and some people got their hoodies up and everything. So at the end of 3, we're still tied at 6. No scoring here in the third quarter between the Glens Falls Greenjackets and Middleboro Cobras. Ken Leccese along with Tim Drawbridge, thanks for tuning in on YouTube to this New England Football League championship game here on the west side of Glens Falls. We're about 2-3 miles away from the Adirondack Northway at exit 18. All you got to do is get off the exit. You go on Broad Street, make a left to Southwestern Avenue, go past 1 or 2 lights, one full-way stop, get you to Sherman Avenue, and here we are.
I do notice a subtle adjustment by the marketing, and they've kind of taken away from the high-pressure Uzi gun they used to use shooting the T-shirts out. Maybe they're afraid they're going to shoot one and then land over on Ridge Street.
Either that or the whatchamacallits are not, the air gun is not working.
I think it's probably more of the latter.
Second and short. Austin on the carry, and he is stopped short of the first down. That's number 21, Quentin Austin. Bring up a third down in inches here. Again, you know what? The job that Middleboro has done in the middle of their defensive line to neutralize the push by the Greenjackets. You got to be very impressed with the way their defense is, because the Greenjackets have been trying to get behind their center and their tackles, their guards, and Middleboro has done an outstanding job of basically either winning the war or neutralizing the battle.
That last play, Tonacci and McEnany were both in there quick.
3rd and 2.
Blitz.
Low snap, handoff to number 1, Prastio. Prastio looks trying to come back inside. He's going to be short by about a yard as he got tackled at the 30. He needs to get to the 29. And they'll bring up a 4th down and 1.
He was looking to push Stasinski out of the way, but couldn't really get behind Johnny, or past him rather, and Middleboro there to shut him down.
A light rain is falling, as we can see through the lights here at the Bernard Putnam Memorial Field at Glens Falls High School.
Gonna go for it.
4th down and 1.5 yards. Prastio and Austin are in the backfield with Caleb Condon.
Show him blitz again.
And it's the handoff to number 1, James Prastio Jr. Prastio following his blockers. This is going to be close.
You have plenty of real estate in the near side, but they decide to attack behind their right side of the offensive line. They're going to be about a half yard short there, Kenny.
And we are seeing 2 great defenses showing their chops here. Ever since each team giving up a touchdown, Greenjackets scored on their first possession of the game off the opening kickoff, and at the end of the first quarter into the second, the Middleboro Cobras tied this game up. So 1st and 10 for Middleboro at their 30. They've committed 3 turnovers, 2 fumbles and an interception. Glens Falls with 1 turnover on a pick in the end zone as the Greenjackets are looking to take the lead back. So 1st and 10 for Curtis Can. Jordan Pina will be the man in the backfield. He's got 2 wide receivers split out to either side. Far side receivers are number 23, Paul Census, and number 80, Jared Walker. Middleboro going from left to right here in this 4th quarter.
Glens Falls showing blitz.
Census in motion. He'll take the jet sweep. Up to the 35. He's tackled out of bounds at the 36-yard line by number 30, Eric France.
There's a flag on the play.
And we have a flag on the
is
play.
about.
That looks like in the area holding.
Yep.
And it is. And Tony Green Jr. is down at about the 17-yard line. So let's see if they're going to take time out, and they will. As Curtis Can and that's Jordan Pina. Tony Green Jr. has been living in the backfield for the Middleboro Cobras, whether it be on a pass rush or getting in there making some plays. So we got a hold, though, on the defense, so they'll bring it back.
He leads the league in sacks. You wonder why there was so much room on this near side, and Fish had to come off the receiver blocking him with the backside pursuit by Brown as well. And you just hope that Tony Green Jr. maybe got kicked somewhere where obviously there's a lot of pain right now, and in a couple of minutes he can be back out on the field.
So as they tend to Tony Green Jr., there's his dad, who played multiple positions. If you needed a place to play, if you needed to put him somewhere, Tony Green Sr. would play it. Quarterback, tight end, defense, defensive backfield. Tony Green Jr. did it all for many years for the Greenjackets. And there's Tony Green Jr., who was a very talented multi-sport athlete, playing both basketball and football for Glens Falls High School. Got those rings from football and basketball. You know, him and Joe Girard III were part of those great teams that Pat Lilac won championships with, and the Girards for basketball. And yesterday, Pat Lilac won his 150th game as coach of Glens Falls High School, since Glens Falls is now known as the Black Bears. For those in Massachusetts, if you haven't followed, last couple of years, the New York State Education Department has basically said we are phasing out indigenous names.
Ooh, this is not good.
And now Tony's getting up very gingerly, getting up very slowly, and he is banged up. And it looks like it's almost like a fireman's carry. They're trying to help him. Yeah, but this is going to be a fireman's carry as they get him off the field here. Yep, it is a fireman's carry. Let's see what. This is obviously a serious leg injury.
Yeah, it's big time. And if you're queasy, don't look at his right leg.
So Tony's coming off. 12:56 here till the end of the football game. We're tied at 6, and it'll be a first down and 20 from the 21-yard line.
Heart and soul of the defensive line for the Greenjackets.
And
don't want to diminish.
Having done all these high school games, I've known these kids. I can't call them kids anymore. These young men. I knew them as they were kids. You know, the first game I did, John Hammond comes up to me and gives me this hug and says, "Hey, how you been, man? Long time no see." You know, same thing with Caleb Condon. Gives me a high five. I'm on the field talking with Paul Pickering and stuff, and got these young men who were kids when I was doing their high school games coming up, remembering them and saying, "Yeah, as I said, I looked at their high school. Yeah, I did his game, did his game. I know him. Yeah, watched him. I don't know this guy yet. I'd like to have done this guy's games."
So Gregory now bounces to the outside for Tony Green Jr.'s slot.
He's looking to show blitz. And here's Can looking to throwing one over the middle. Sanchez almost made a wonderful one-handed grab at the 30, but couldn't hang on.
I think he heard the footsteps of Dejon Tyler while also looking right in front of him, Eric France, ready to lay one out on him.
And it'll be 3rd and 20 now for, that's actually 2nd and 20, excuse me. With 12:19 left in the football game, we're tied at 6. Pina to the right of Curtis Can. And Can will look to throw. In trouble, flush out of the pocket, and he's going to be sacked from behind. Number 42, Steve Glodden with the tackle.
And Glowden came in to take Gregory's spot over on the right side. Just was able to get a nice push by the defensive line, and Can, the way he rolled, is rolling right into Glowden on that last play. Can looking to the coaching staff for some help.
So on another loss. So a loss of 4 on the play. Offense wins games, defense wins championships, and the defense is definitely getting the better of the offense. in this ball game as the rain is coming down. It's a light rain, nothing like we had in those last couple weeks at East Field where it was just pouring. So if it makes the way up to Chest Channel, I might not have to water my garden tomorrow morning. or tomorrow afternoon when I get home from what I have to do. 3rd and long. 3 wide receivers, one side, 1 receiver to the near side. And this is an inside handoff to Jordan Pina. Pina breaks 1 tackle at the 20, still on his feet, and he finally gets tackled there. Gordon again on the tackle.
Initial contact by Troy Trent Jr., but he's going to look at Gameville and go, I can't tackle by yanking down a jersey. So it was good effort by the running back from Middleboro to be able to get some yardage away from their goalposts.
And this is not the good old days where they had those tearaways, man. When you'd see some of those guys, like how many jerseys that it took to that Earl Campbell ripped because he could not be stopped. I see some guys from the Baltimore Colts sometimes with those tearaways from the 70s.
Name the highlights against the Rams, against the Dolphins. That great game on Monday Night Football.
Oh, when he ran over
70s?
Isaiah Robertson, who was like the hardest hitter in football.
Yes.
Here's the punt by Can, sort of rugby style.
Watch
and
out.
It'll bounce at the 50-yard line. And it takes a roll and dies at the 47-yard line. So Can, nice little sidestep rugby punt. And it'll be 1st and 10 now for the Greenjackets.
That's where your sideline should be yelling at Brandon Fish and Caden Ogilvy. Get away, as both were kind of engaged in blocks and getting too close to where the ball was starting to come down to the turf.
They used to call that when, if you could hear it, they would yell suicide, suicide. That would be like the point to get away from the football, let it down, and go from there. As I said, I've noticed that in the 2 weeks we've been here, this turf does not have a lot of bounce to it. For a new turf surface, this does not have a lot of bounce to it. 1st and 10.
Too wide each side.
Condon with the snap count. Fakes the handoff to James Prasio Jr. Nice pass, completion, and great defense even. We got a late flag, and that might be in the area of face mask.
And Pickering on that play, as soon as he gets the ball, has to get upfield. He looked to do the little shake and bake, but that allowed for the defender to come up and be able to take him down, even though they end up netting the penalty.
And a 15-yard penalty for the face mask against the Cobras. The Greenjackets, their penalties have been the little types. We've had a lot of 10 and 15-yarders go against Middleboro in this game. And I know Justin Pike is not going to be thrilled with all those. So here come the Greenjackets, 1st and 10 now at the Middleboro 37.
I'd come to the near side with John Hammond in the slot with the same play.
And here comes Hammond. Here comes Pickering in motion to the near side of the field. Looking to set up the screen. Condon in trouble. Dumps it just to avoid being sacked, and that's Rashad Colson who got his hand on it.
If they were able to just quickly get that out, it was set up, but as quick as they could move, it shut down even that faster.
9-12 in a moving clock, tied at 6. We've had no scoring here in the second half by either side. Scoring started for the Greenjackets off the opening kickoff on a 55-yard touchdown drive completed by James Prastio Jr.'s 2-yard run. And Middleboro would answer late in the first, early in the second. A long drive that ended up with the Jordan Pino 1-yard touchdown run on a 56-yard drive after a punt. Fake a handoff. Condon looking to throw. Flushed out of the pocket. In trouble. Rolling to his right. Looking to avoid the sack. And he's throwing one down the field. Incomplete. I believe that was Prastio who almost caught the football. And we've got flags. And let's see what this is about.
Thrown unsportsman, I think, on the Middleboro bench.
No, I don't know. They called it unsportsmanlike on both sides. Okay, let's see what it is. We'll see what it is as both sides sort of calm things down. 2nd and 10.
There were 2 flags that went up, so you're right, there could be 2 different penalties. And the offset.
So offset unsportsmanlike penalties on both sides. And it brings up a 3rd down and 10. 8:35 left in the football game. We're tied at 6.
Nice on the last play. Condon scrambled, bought the time, but they've got to be able to shore up the middle of the line to prevent that defense from coming in on Caleb Condon.
3 wide receivers split. Hammond, Pickering, and Colson to the near side. Stasinski to the far side. And here's Condon under pressure. Zips one. Got the completion to James Prasio Jr. Breaks a couple of tackles. He's going to be short of the 1st down, though. It'll bring up a 4th and 3, I believe.
Amaya, first point of contact from Middleboro. Not able to wrap up Prasio, and give Prasio credit. He never stops moving his feet. We're trying to drive forward north-south. Good to see Quentin Austin back on the field.
So 3rd down and 2 now for the Greenjackets. And we got ourselves a officials timeout.
Timeout Middleboro.
And there's a timeout on the field.
And that'll be their first of their 3.
Middleboro takes their timeout.
7:30 left here in the football game. Neither team has been able to punch it in. They've been able to move the ball between the 20s, but the defense has done a great job of, especially you look at Middleboro. What they've done really well is plug up the running game, especially when the Green Jackets try to go between the tackles.
Yeah, they've taken out the Green Jackets' bread and butter that they had success with last week against Worcester, and forced them to play the outside from the tackles out to the edge.
Got to stand up here. My legs are feeling a little tight. So 7:30 left in the football game. Thanks for tuning in on our Glens Falls Greenjackets YouTube channel. This championship game between the Greenjackets and Middleboro Cobras. Wherever you are in Massachusetts, Rhode Island, or here locally, or just thanks for making this a part of your evening. A lot of great football happening from high school to college to the pros now. It's fall. We've got a light rain falling, by the way, if you can see it up in the lights here at Putnam Mayfield at Glens Falls High School.
Stasinski one-on-one on the far side.
3rd down and a long 3.
No safety over the top either.
Pickering comes in motion. This is Quentin Austin.
Beautiful.
Austin, he's got the first. Ooh, this is going to be close. I thought he was going to get it, but he was caught from behind by Thaddeus France. So that was 21, Quentin Austin on the carry. Let's see. This might be a measurement.
That's good for another Green Jacket. First down.
They'll move the chains on this one.
Nice blocking by the 3 wideouts on this side. I believe it was Pickering who was able to make the nice kind of close the end and allow Quentin Austin to get to the side. You're pointing to Tony Green Jr.,
Yeah.
Kenny?
He's standing up.
It was a back injury, not a leg injury, but I think whatever was affecting his back was traveling down through his right hip and right leg.
So Tony Green Jr. is up, and that is good news. I don't care what the injury is. He's walking gingerly. I know he's not going to go. They're not going to take any chances with him. But the fact that he's up and he's moving.
Austin's
Condon
open.
throwing, and he's going to look to throw. He's going to take it himself, find some room inside the 20 to the 19.
Nice block downfield by Skylar Pickering. Just to finish off the thought on Tony Green Jr., Kenny, it's one of those things, get him to the chiropractor, make the appropriate adjustments with some heat and ice, and
get that electrostimulus on you first. Oh, man. Having suffered back problems, there's nothing better than my chiropractor putting electrostimulus on my back. He said to me one day, I was so in love with it, I was snoring, and he had to wake me up. He goes, "You know you were snoring." He goes, "Can you give me another 30 minutes?" He goes, "No." I'm like, "Oh, come on, man."
that's what happens when you burn the midnight oil.
Oh no, man!
Running here, running there.
Oh yeah, and then they give you, then he pounds you, and then they puts those nice heat. Oh, at the end, yeah. Rain's coming down a little bit harder now. And it'll be a 2nd down and 1 after the nice scramble run by Caleb Condon. Prastio is the lone man in the backfield again. Colson, Hammond, and Pickering to the near side, Szynski to the far side of the field. Greenjackets going from right to left, and here comes Pickering in motion. And the handoff inside to James Pastio Jr.
Ooh, what a tackle.
He made a move, a spin move, and then just got met by Keelan McDonald. That was an amazing, there was a great little spin around a move, and there was Keelan McDonald saying, "Welcome to my neighborhood."
And if you want to talk about textbook tackling, here's Pastio with the spin move. Here comes McDonald. I'm going to put my shoulder right in your gut, wrap up and push and drive you to the ground.
So we'll bring up a 3rd down and short, inside a yard for the first down. Ball's about the 17. They got to get to the 16. And now actually we're going to have a measurement.
Chain gang time.
You got it.
It's not much. I'm talking inches.
We're talking chain links. Yeah, this is not inches. This is chain links.
Just short of the first down.
So 3rd down.
So how long is 10 chain links?
I don't know. That I
2.5, 3 inches?
I can't help you with that one.
Quick, somebody out with a conversion.
And this is not neither metric or nor English measurement here. We're not talking centimeters here. We're just trying to figure out if a chain link is this long.
The result of the play.
So it's 3rd, and you sniff the 15, basically. Do you draw them off with a hard count? And Glens Falls will take the timeout to discuss it.
That's what they're going to do.
You just see, you have a count between your center, Lyman, and Condon. Just a quick nudge on the backside, snap you the ball, and bam.
They got to get creative with this play, because the one thing, if they tried to go up the middle, that's the one thing I'll say Middleboro's done a great job in, is winning the battle between the center and the guards. And they've won that. It's been a very great battle. After this game's over, man, if I'm a lineman on both sides, I'd be shaking hands with everybody, because that was a great. This has been a war in the trenches. The way the Greenjackets trying to set up that inside running game, and you got to give Middleboro credit. They've done some great work on sealing the gaps that James Pastio Jr. and Quentin Austin love to run through. So 3rd down and a matter of inches here. 5:12 left in the football game. Still looking for our first score in the second half, as we're tied at 6.
So you got Szynski out far. You got Carpenter in, and Pickering is on Carpenter's backside.
And we got ourselves an official's timeout, as we've got a power I formation set for Glens Falls. What?
3rd down.
Oh, that's what it was about. They had, by accident, moved the.
That's right. 3rd down.
The chain gang flipped the down marker to 4th.
Chain gang's going, hey, you know what? The rain's picking up, getting kind of cold and wet.
One of the chain gang guys at the Glens Falls High School was John Jack Diamond, former mayor of Glens Falls. Here's Condon on the push, and he's got the first down as he crosses the 15. And Caleb Condon, that was a great job by the Glens Falls Greenjackets offensive line to get Caleb Condon to finally find that little seam and get the first down here with 4:53 left in the football game and tied at 6.
And I'm glad you noted the time, Kenny, because the clock continues to run. Glens Falls has been able to control the clock here, take it down, and continue to do so while punching it in for 6 this time around.
I formation now with Austin the fullback and James Pastio Jr.
Middleboro obviously focused on the middle.
Condon under center.
Let's
fake the blitz, got back behind the neutral zone. Long sound. Handoff inside to James Pastio Jr., number 1. He gets stood up immediately, and a loss of 1.
Mancini steaming off the edge. Grabs Pastio for a slight loss.
And Middleboro will use their second timeout as Peter Backenden was coming off. number 44. In the game that was done at East Field, McEnany was playing two ways, but he was doing an excellent job on the wet track and the muddy track at East Field of really running the football for Middleboro in that 13-0 loss. As Middleboro won the first meeting between these teams in Massachusetts 7-6. Greenjackets returned the favor 13-0 on the east end of Glens Falls at East Field. And here we are tonight in the rain at Putnam May Memorial Field at Glens Falls High School, where last night the Black Bears won their first game under the lights here, permanent lights. They've played temporary lights games. A couple of times they've played the jug game between Hudson Falls. For those who are tuning in, the jug game between Glens Falls and Hudson Falls is that rivalry matchup. And yes, there is a legitimate
jug,
whiskey molasses jug that was found at a garage sale for like $1, and an art teacher painted it up with the green and white of Hudson Falls and the black and red of Glens Falls, and it's been like one of the rivalry matchups.
It was found at the Warrensburg yard sale.
Oh yeah. 4 minutes left. 2nd and 11 for the Greenjackets at the Middleboro 15-yard line. Condon back in the shotgun. He'll look to throw. Looking to set up. Finding a receiver. Got John Hammond for a short gain. Ball is loose, but he was tackled at the 12-yard line.
So this is going to be a very interesting call. 3rd down from the 12-13, so it's going to be 8 yards to go. And if you start looking at field goal opportunity now with 3:47 left, you add on 7 yards behind the center and 10 for the end zone. That's a 30-yard field goal attempt, which is pretty much on the fringe of Bennett's range, who's been going through his motions and doing the swing on the sideline and also getting mentally prepared.
So 3rd and 10. They didn't give him much. I thought he caught the ball at the 12, but they didn't give him forward progress. Condon from the gun. Good protection. Pickering. Looking for the end zone. Wide open touchdown! And a flag on the play. This might come back. This could be an offensive pass interference.
Stasinski pushed off. He had Pickering coming over the middle at the 2.
And the call is offensive pass interference, and that's a 15-yard penalty.
Big penalty against Glens Falls.
3:39 and a 15-yard penalty will bring it back to the 30-yard line. Actually, the 29, where it'll be 3rd down.
It's 3rd down at 25.
The first down marker, by the way, is at the 5.5.
I'd go back to that play, look for Stasinski, but look underneath to Pickering again. He was wide open last play.
Stasinski to the far side of the field. Colson, Hammond, and Pickering to the near side, set up as wideouts. James Prastio Jr. in the backfield. Caleb Condon in the shotgun formation with 3:39 left in the football game. Condon's got some time, looking to throw. Steps up over the middle, too high for Tyler Pickering. In coverage was Keelan McDonald, the linebacker, and it'll bring up a 4th down now.
McDonald's having a great game for Middleboro, all over the field defensively, and Pickering couldn't climb the ladder. Even if Pickering had climbed the ladder, the way McDonald was coming at him, he would have been able to separate the ball from Schuyler's hands.
Clock is stopped on the incomplete pass.
4th down.
And it's 4th down. Let's see what the Greenjackets do.
I think with McLaughlin on the field, you're going to go 5 wide. And if I'm Middleboro, I'm going to blitz the center and the 2 guards because they've obviously found a weakness there in the second half.
Empty backfield.
4 wide on the far side.
Colson is the lone receiver to the near side of the field.
They're looking for help on that side defensively.
Let's see what happens now. Ball's at the 30. Condon looking to throw over the middle, and it's in and out of the hands. Almost intercepted the 5-yard line, but that actually benefits the Cobras, as it was Jeff Stewart on the almost interception. Actually, it was smart that the ball dropped out of his hands, because if he had gotten it, his return might have not gotten back to the 30. So now for the Middleboro Cobras, they've got 1 timeout left, 3:25 left in the football game, and they've got 70 yards. They got to go at least 70 yards for a touchdown. We don't know what Kobe Blakely's range is as a kicker, so we'll see what that comes up.
Condon's going to look at the game film on that last play and go, I should have gone to the well one more time. John Stasinski was open from the 10 into the end zone.
For Middleboro, let's hear for you, Greenjackets defense! Defense!
This has been a defensive battle, and Tony Green Jr. is on the field, back in his left end spot. Here's the inside handoff to Jordan Pina. Pina to the 35-yard line, 2nd down and 5. And Eric France was engaging with a couple of Middleboro players.
And no surprise that Middleboro goes right to Pina. Success in the ground game all night.
And Pina's a little bit dinged up, a little bit slower step on him. Then here comes Middleboro, and going no huddle, speed up with 2:50 and a moving clock, and a game tied at 6. Greenjackets showing blitz. Tony Green Jr. in a 4-point stance. Everybody else in 2. Here comes the blitz. Hand off to Pina. Breaks the tackle. Cuts it back to the 40. He's got the 1st down to the 44-yard line.
Jake Gregory was coming right through, blew through the left guard. Just that Pina was able to get out of there, the backfield, in time.
The 45 for Middleboro.
Thought the clock would stop here for the first, to move the change on the 1st down, but it's still moving. 2:15. We'll have the 2-minute warning, by the way. And Middleboro has 1 timeout remaining. Pina on the inside. This time he gets nothing. There's Tony Green Jr. And we've reached the 2-minute warning. The other tackler was number 50. It was either 52, Frank Murillo, or 51.
It was great. Both Glens Falls defenders
Warning is your 2-minute warning.
taking the back down to the ground. Big play for the Greenjackets, because now 2nd and 10. You know, Middleboro at this point, they've got a run-pass option, but the defense just has to tighten up at this point, force a fumble, or get us into overtime.
1 minute and 56 seconds left here, tied at 6. Scoring all took place in the 1st half. Greenjackets took the opening kickoff 55 yards, and James Prastio Jr. completed the touchdown drive with a 2-yard run. And then midway through the 2nd quarter, Jordan Pina would score on a 1-yard run. It was a direct snap, single wing formation. 2nd and 11. Curtis Can looks to throw. Here comes Tony Green on the sack, and he gets him.
And you want to talk about
40, and Green getting up really slowly with that back.
You talk about playing with heart and desire, Ken.
Oh man, you can feel, and here, yeah, he's feeling it again. You can see there is no, he's coming off the field right away. Yeah, that back is causing him some problems, but he makes an incredible sack on the play. Gutsy play by Tony Green Jr. right now.
All guts and determination, and imploring the training staff, Lisa and her daughter, whatever you did last time, do it again so I can get back out there.
3rd down and 16. A minute 8, ball's on the 39-yard line.
Big play.
Here's the pitch to Jordan Pina. Pina, he will get stopped at the 43-yard line. The Greenjackets still have 2 timeouts left, and they'll use one of them.
Barito, Troy Trent Jr., great read of the handoff from Can to Pina to be able to take him down for only a gain of 3. See what See what Middleboro decides to do here.
Well, Can is the punter. Hammond and DeJohn Tyler are will be the deep men in the punt. So it looks like they will punt this football, but you got to watch out for the fake because Curtis Can is the quarterback. He could see something. You got Jack Bellier out there, who's a small little guy. He's going to be the edge. He's going to be one of those gunners.
It's fourth down.
Greenjackets got to watch out for the fake here. Hammond back about his 24-yard line.
Careful of it offsides.
Here's the snap.
Kick it.
Rugby-style punt. And Hammond will take it at his 23 to the 25, makes a move up to the 30, to the 39-yard line with 40 seconds left in the football game. The Greenjackets will take over 1st and 10 after the return of 7. That will make it 11 yards.
Nice block, Jake Gregory. Hammond read it, was able to get that straight up the field, and now it's time for a little offensive magic.
Now I don't know how the overtime is done here. I don't know if they play sudden death like the NFL, or do they line them up at the 25 and go 4 downs until someone scores. This will be something new to us.
Absolutely.
Jason Profit coming in the football game now. There's Colson.
See what Middleboro does defensively. They got 2 safeties at the 50.
Hammond's a little dinged up on the sidelines as he's being assisted off.
That's why Profit came running on the field.
Yeah. Prastio to the right. Here comes Tyler Pickering in motion. And Condon looking to throw. Fakes the screen. Looking to go deep. He's got no one wide open. He's running, rolling, throwing.
Ooh.
Caught.
Out of bounds. No, he's going to keep the clock winding on that side. Got to get to the line of scrimmage quick.
27 seconds left, and we got ourselves a stoppage.
John Stasinski on the catch.
And Stasinski on the catch.
Glens Falls takes a timeout.
And the Greenjackets will use their last timeout. So they got the completion for 9 yards to the 42.5-yard line. With 22.7 seconds left in the football game, we're tied at 6.
They were trying to set up the screen on the near side. They've had success at times tonight, but the pressure just was getting to Condon, and at least he was able to find Stasinski on that far side.
This has been a battle of defense tonight. You've seen some outstanding defensive play by both sides of the football game.
Hammond's coming back out. And I'm looking down the sideline for an 11-2.
I don't see him. I think that second one, I think I think there's Tony right now. I think Tony's jersey's off.
Yeah.
In the black, there he is on the sideline in the black long sleeve shirt. 3 wide receivers to the far side of the field. Colson to the near side. Empty backfield. Condon now sends Prastio in motion. And now here's the snap. Flag on the play, by the way, in the backfield. And in and out of the hands. I believe that's Profit.
Yep.
But there was a flag on the play in the defensive backfield.
Flag on the play.
Let's see what the call is.
Profit had looked that one into his hands better. He had the yardage for 1st down.
I think it's going against Greenjackets.
Not enough men on the field?
Now they're
too
counting.
many.
Glens Falls penalty, 2 men on the field.
And
another
now
flag,
penalty.
unsportsmanlike.
This is where you have to keep your cool.
And they're looking at Skylar Pickering. They're looking at Skylar Pickering right now. Steve Johnson's looking at him like, what the heck did you just do?
And did he get ejected by chance the way he's coming off the field?
So now another 15-yard penalty as McLaughlin's coming in.
Not the direction you want to be going in. And now you're closer to your own goalposts. One mistake, and it could be absolutely devastating for Glens Falls.
Ball's at the 23-yard line. They've got to get to the 44 for the first down. And second down and 21. 21 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. And the inside handoff to James Prastio Jr. Number 1 gets to the 30-yard line with 17 seconds left.
Timeout Middleboro.
And the Cobras will use their last timeout.
And not necessarily a bad thing. It's going to be 3rd and 13. You extend the game at least one more play, hoping for a turnover.
As the rain continues to come down. Not hard, though. It's a gentle one compared to what we had the last couple of weeks when we were at East Field at the end of August. When we had that monsoon hit about 45 minutes before game time that lasted into the first and second quarters. So the Cobras have used their last timeout. Greenjackets have a 3rd down and 13. They got to get to the 44 for the first down. 15 seconds on the clock. We're tied at 6.
We've had no take a knee.
We've had no scoring left here in the second half, and it looks like the Greenjackets will go victory formation. And they will take the knee.
Overtime.
Your score at the end of regulation. The Glens Falls Greenjackets 6. The Middleboro Cobras 6. We're going to overtime.
All right, so I don't know how they do this. We're going to find out, like you.
We have an official referee from the NEFL running the clock tonight.
Yep.
I'm sure he's probably letting our
Here comes the league officials talking things over.
Public address announcer Dan Miner will let everybody know when he knows.
Is this going to end up in a tie?
Nope, I think we're going to do a coin toss.
So is this going to be, as they say, are we going to be playing college and high school rules where the ball is spotted at the 25? Because if they use modified college rules, they'll have it'll be first and, each team will have a chance to score on the opposing defense from the 25-yard line. Of course, if you can get the first down, you get the first down, you can continue the drive going.
Well, I think they've got page 365, section 2, subsection 8365 out on the field right now.
Oh, yeah.
Going over the rules of what overtime will be for each side. Coaching staffs are out there.
Somebody's got to take that big trophy home that they had. I don't see the trophy now here anymore.
I think they went and covered it with the rain.
Yeah, they probably had to. Yeah, good point. Don't want to get the trophy wet. It's like you don't want to drop the Stanley Cup. You don't want to drop the trophies. So as we continue here, it is just shy of 9:30, by the way. Eastern Standard Time, Eastern Daylight Time. Ken Leccese, Tim Drawbridge, you are listening. You are watching. I was so good about it up until about just 2 minutes ago.
Here's what's going on in overtime. A 15-minute session. The first team to score in this overtime session will be declared the winner.
Sudden death.
We are tied at the end of the overtime period. Then we will start with the ball at the 25 for each team. Those are the overtime rules.
So it's kind of a blend of what we see in the NFL, except it's 15, not 10.
No, it's more like soccer. You play another period. If no one scores, then we go to penalty kicks. Yeah, sort of like that. But how it works, it'll be a 15-minute overtime session, sudden death. If no one scores, then we go to the – and it looks like the Cobras have won the toss.
Won the toss. They elected to receive the ball.
and Glens Falls says they're going to be kicking that way. So
yeah, they'll defend
we
the
get
south
to
goal.
we get to have 15, maybe possibly 15 or more minutes of football.
You'll be the winner of the New England Football League Championship game.
6-6 is your score as we head into overtime. So we've got a little bit more football for you tonight on this now turned into a rainy Saturday evening on the west end of Glens Falls, New York.
And the way the season's gone, would it be more appropriate?
Oh man, yeah. Yeah, but at least we know one thing. The guys aren't getting muddied. You know, you got a nice brand new artificial turf surface here. This is the second one at Putlamay. If you tuned in earlier, the first one was installed back in 2008. What's new about this field is the lights. There were no lights here when Glens Falls High School for years played over at East Field. Yeah, that muddy baseball field that you saw us do games from. And they moved they moved everything back here, but they didn't have lights because the neighborhood was very, like a lot of neighborhoods, when you put lights in, they don't really, it's not their best thing. So Dwayne Bennett, number 29, will get ready to kick it off. Back deep is DJ Amaya, number 20.
This is where you stay disciplined on kickoff coverage. You stay in your lanes. You get into a breakdown position, and you don't let the returner get past you, and you use the boundary as an extra defender, and you recognize where your teammates are to be able to team tackle.
And here's the kick. End over end taken at the 20 by Amaya. Breaks it one to the 30, still on his feet, and he'll be stopped at the 32-yard line.
Nice swarm tackling by Glens Falls on the return.
That's where Middleboro will get the ball. First down and 10.
So 1st and 10 for the Cobras, going from right to left in the white and maroon. Glens Falls going from left to right. Green Bay Packer replicas, the jerseys and the helmets. Both of these teams started their semi-professional football careers back in the late 1920s. So both of these teams going to be coming up on 100th anniversaries.
All right, Greenjackets fans.
So 1st and 10. Curtis Can is the quarterback. Slot wide receivers split out to either side. Jordan Pena has been the primary running back. And it's 1st and 10 now. He'll take the initial handoff up the middle. Gets to about the 35-yard line. That's where he's stopped by number 53, Whitaker.
Nice chest-on-chest tackle by Whitaker.
And Eric France.
A gain of about 1 yard on the play. It'll bring up a second and a long night.
Now, one of the things Glens Falls has been able to adjust is shutting down the running lanes that Pena had the first 3 quarters of the game.
The other thing we noticed in the second half, that the Glens Falls defense did a great job of not allowing Paul Census in space.
Absolutely.
Catch some passes. So 2nd and 10.
Showing blitz.
Marcan looking to throw, flush out of the pocket, and he got tripped up and stopped behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 2.
Jake Gregory.
Loss of 2.
Jake Gregory has been showing great acceleration coming off the defensive line, whether it's a 4-point, 3-point, or 2-point stance.
Tony Green Jr. out with a back injury. He came back in, made a sack, and the back said, "Nah, we're gonna give you one more chance." And now he's just gonna relax and sit this one out. Todd Barito was dinged up a little bit earlier with a wrist injury. He's been back out there since the start of the second half. 3rd down and 12. Census, the primary receiver for the Cobras, is split out to the near side of the field. You got 2 wide receivers to the far side. Now we got a tight end. That's John Santos set up. Empty backfield, by the way, for the Cobras with Curtis Can in a shotgun. Jackets showing blitz, all of them in 2-point stance, and here they come. Off the edge, here comes Tyler Brown, he's got him at the 25.
They were so worried about Jake Gregory coming up the middle, they didn't see or adjust for Brown coming off the outside edge.
Tyler Brown came on the blitz, and there was no one to block him. So a 4th down and a punting situation coming up for the Cobras. John Hammond is the deep man. The up man is Akil Anthony.
Time for a little Johnny Hammond flash and dash on a return.
McCann, he sort of slightly will do a rugby-style stutter step, slide step punt. Remember, he is the quarterback, so you got to watch out. High snap, here's the kick. Angle, low squibber, and the Green Jackets are going to let this one die at their 46.5-yard line.
Great field position.
And there is an enthusiastic James Prastio Jr. coming out to the field. Him and Quentin Austin.
So nice stance by the Glens Falls defense. Let's see if Middleboro can now answer the call defensively too.
So now it's the Green Jackets' chance on offense for the first time in overtime. See if they can punch it home. 2 sacks by the Green Jackets defense, especially that 3rd down when Tyler Brown just came off the edge untouched and just got Curtis Can.
Stasinski and Hammond both split out to the far side.
Hammond is the far side receiver. Stasinski in the slot. And it's a handoff inside
Austin.
Number 21, Quentin Austin, and he'll stumble ahead for 3 to midfield.
You know, I'll take that play. It was only a gain of 3, but you saw that Glens Falls recognized where Middleboro was coming from on their left side. They tried to slide that way. Austin full steam ahead, able to get something there on 1st down.
There are going to be some tired football. There are some tired football players on this as Austin came off the field a little dinged up.
He was dinged up back in the 3rd, early 4th quarter too.
Brandon McAllister is now into the game at running back. He'll be in the backfield along with James Prastio. There's Quentin Austin talking with Terry McCray on the sidelines next to Rashad Colson. Green Jackets using that extra lineman as a tight end. Stasinski and Hammond are the receivers to the far side of the field. Stasinski in the slot.
Show him blitz again.
And it's an inside handoff to Prastio Jr. James Prastio moving the pile ahead inside the 40 to the 36-yard line. That is a 1st down.
Prastio, nice acceleration, but he's got to be very aware now the rest of the way. Middleboro is attacking his right hand, his main ball-carrying hand, and you don't want to see Prastio cough it up here in overtime when he's had such a great game and an excellent season.
Brandon McAllister had a nice block, by the way, as the lead. With Quentin Austin on the sideline a little dinged up, Brandon McAllister now is taking over at that fullback spot. Here's Condon.
Showing blitz again.
Showing blitz. Here comes Stasinski in motion. Fake the handoffs.
Stasinski's
open. Looking to throw.
Got him.
Wide open is Stasinski. Catches it. Touchdown. Game over. Green Jackets win.
Nice poise in the pocket by Caleb Condon. His offensive line giving him time to be able to read the field, and John Stasinski from the far side running a post over the middle. Got separation, and the safety didn't look at him and takes it in beautifully. Catch for 6.
4:48 into the overtime. What a pass to John Stasinski. Wins it. The game is over. It's 12-6. And you know what? This one was a war.
Absolutely.
Unbelievable what we saw tonight. The Middleboro Cobras. What a football game. Are we going to keep it here, Tim?
Yes, we are. We're going to cover the trophy presentation.
Unbelievable what we saw tonight. the Glens Falls Greenjacket defense has been what they've been the stalwart of this team all year. There are times when this offense has played well in spurts, but when it counted, beautiful pass, a kid from Hudson Falls to a kid from South Glens Falls, Stasinski on the touchdown. He had a 33-yarder earlier in the game. This one goes for 6.
And remember those 2 passes long distance early in the first half to Stasinski, and I said Condon seemingly couldn't step up on the pocket and get enough oomph on the pass to deliver it in stride to Stasinski. Guess what? He did it on that pass, and it counted for the game winner.
What a football game. You don't like to see a team lose, especially when you go to overtime. This was a defensive struggle, but Caleb Condon found John Stasinski in space on the side, on the corner of the end zone, and he made things happen.
Give Middleboro tons of credit. And Santos in the first half. Glens Falls responded and shut him down in the second half. Defensively, McDonald. If we're going to mention Santos, we got to mention Curtis Can. And as well, Jordan Pina had a great game, even though Glens Falls was able to finally start shutting him down, slowing him down fourth quarter overtime.
You look at that middle of that defensive line for Middleboro, too. We got to give the Cobras credit. Started with Anthony Tognacci. Also, Kalen McDonald was all over the field.
Absolutely.
Cobras 6. Coming up in just a moment, we'll have the championship trophy presentation.
Wow. In the first year in the New England Football League, the Glens Falls Greenjackets win the Division II championship in a thriller 12-6 in overtime.
So I guess 2 questions now, Kenny. Number 1, where's the party tonight? Number 2, what would be the opportunity for Glens Falls to take a trip to one of 4 locations? And can everybody in the community, not only around the Tri-County region of Glens Falls, but beyond that, come now to help support the Green Jackets in a fundraising mode to be able to have that opportunity to go do a championship game in one of 4 locations in the South?
Unbelievable what we saw here tonight. Scoring recap for you. Middleboro Cobras won the toss. They elected to defer. On the opening kickoff, the Glens Falls Greenjackets drove 55 yards. James Prasio Jr. would complete the touchdown on a 2-yard run. The kick was wide right. Late in the first quarter, after a punt by the Greenjackets, the Cobras would take over at their 44-yard line. They would go 56 yards, complete the drive on a Jordan Pena 1-yard touchdown run. We were tied at 6 after the kick was blocked. And then we had no scoring in the second half. Teams had their opportunities, but the defense were stepping up. There's also some mistakes on the penalties, too.
Oh, yeah,
both of them. There were some big, and we're not talking little dinky ones. We're talking big holdings, unsportsmanlikes, and we ended this game in regulation. Now, the start of this overtime was a 15-minute sudden death period. If nobody scored, we would go to what they call the college rules, where the offense gets the ball on the 25, you got 4 downs to make a first down. If you get it, you keep going until you score. That's how it works. Well, guess what? 3 and out, the Cobras won the toss. They elected to take the ball. Short run by Jordan Pena, then 2 back-to-back sacks by the Green Jackets defense. A punt, a run, a couple of short runs, first down, and then the game winner. That it was. Caleb Condon throwing one to John Stasinski, wide open around the 5-yard line, took it in for the game-winning touchdown. The Green Jackets win in overtime, 12-6 here at Putnam May Field, as they're getting set here for the presentations of the trophies and everything for everybody. What an amazing football game we saw here by 2 class act teams fighting for every yard and inch. This was a battle.
The championship presentation.
Amazing football game tonight, Tim.
You got to love a good defensive battle. I know the way the generation of football has evolved over the last couple of decades, and with the arena game, number of plays you run, faster pace, higher scoring. But when you sit back and you see how both of these offenses struggled against one another's defense tonight, and then Green Jackets hit the home run on that pass to Stasinski. Gorgeous game, beautiful game.
These two teams played, battled 7-6 in Middleboro, Mass. 13-0 at the baseball park on the east end of Glens Falls on a rainy night there. They split the regular season series, and how appropriate these two teams play in the championship game, and it goes to overtime. We have seen, boy, this field, in this brand new field, in these last two nights, have seen two amazing football games.
Oh, absolutely.
They saw the home team finally get to play their first game with looks like a momentous occasion for Pat Lilac, winning his 150th as coach at Glens Falls High School. And
kudos to Pat with everything he's done over the years, the coaching staff, the coaches that continue to coach with him, and the support he has from the community with the generations of players now that he's been able to touch.
Of the division trophies.
Well, the one thing we'll say about Pat Lilac, his coaching tree, that thing is like a California redwood. You know, his father is legendary.
Oh, yeah.
It's Stillwater. They got the gym is named after his dad at Stillwater. His brother and cousins are all coaches. He went into the coaching thing. Not so much the basketball end. You know, he's got family members in baseball and basketball and
he goes football.
Yeah, he goes football and he took over for a guy by the name of Paul Bercockley. Glens Falls High School has had two football coaches in the past 54 years. Paul Bercockley was a legend.
Absolutely.
Middleboro Cobras.
Met his son while doing a game at Queensbury High School, and we cross paths all the time. Just a fantastic family in the Glens Falls area for decades.
I remember the loss that Pat had during this shows, you know, the coaching trees and who your friends are, and he went to Cortland, which is known for their physical athletic program.
Of tonight's game from your Glens Falls Greenjackets, number 11, Tony Green Jr.
And up.
That's a good one for Tony. It was a beast on defense, but we talk about all this stuff, and we're talking about the Green Jackets here. Hank Pelton, who played, and he was a lineman and everything, running the show here, in charge of everything, and making sure that it's done the right way.
Yes.
With a community team like that. Because you have so many organizations, and Middleboro's the same way. You look at the history of these two semi-pro football teams, they're very similar, and they run along parallel lines, starting in the late to mid-20s, and both of them, like I said, are going to be coming up on 100th anniversaries and stuff in the next couple of years, how they do it and everything. It's unbelievable. So here they are as they continue the ceremonies here for both teams here, Middleboro as well as the Glens Falls Greenjackets, and it's been an amazing game tonight. And as I say, you don't like to see anybody lose.
The trophy that's being presented is the trophy that the Glens Falls Greenjackets will get to keep for winning the 2023 New England Football League Championship.
There it is. Steve Johnson and his staff.
And when you've been working since last January, and Coach Johnson mentioned this last weekend,
The New England Football League Championship.
we were working on stamina and endurance, and we had a goal, and we knew what we wanted to accomplish. There's been a lot of blood, sweat, and tears with this Green Jacket franchise because they knew they were coming into a new league, and they knew what they wanted to accomplish.
There is you think about this. New league, trying to find the right fit. Finding a league that everybody does it the right way.
Yes.
and it's been difficult with the Empire Leagues, all these other
Your
ones,
final score, your
Northeast
Glens Falls
Leagues.
Greenjackets 12, the Middleboro Cobras 6 in overtime. Your Green Jackets are your 2023 New England
wrap it up?
Football League champions.
Tim, this has been a fun ride. We've been on a fun ride these last 3 weeks.
Absolutely. Great to work with you after
Oh, my
crossing
pleasure.
paths in radio
Oh, yeah.
for so long in the digital sports. And, you know,
Oh, yeah, doing all this stuff. And it's nice to see another championship here in Glens Falls, this time the Green Jackets winning it. Thanks to everybody who's tuned in all over the New England and New York in tuning into us, listening to us, watching us on YouTube. And we're going to wrap things up and everything. Your final score in overtime, the Glens Falls Green Jackets 12 and the Middleboro Cobras 6. Thanks for tuning in and watching. You've been watching coverage of Glens Falls Green Jackets football on YouTube.